This is a mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Connor, let's hear you.
It's talking about a good Western Washington game. That didn't make sense. I'm really distraught over the Texans' loss, dude.
I feel you, man. It was a rough one. Patriots look like they're in pretty good spot for that AFC
Yeah, they're
Championship
definitely
game.
going to the Super Bowl, and Bears just tied the game up 7-7. Mic test 1 2. Mic test 1 2 1 2.
You are listening to a KUGR sports production.
Another rushing touchdown for what might be the best rushing quarterback in all of college football right now.
Your eyes and ears for every WSU sporting event.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Listen live to games on YouTube at KUGR Sports.
Underneath it, Johnstone makes the grab and wins the game. Washington State wins it 7-5. Logan Johnstone makes the snag.
And now, here are your hosts.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
$564 miles on the bus. That included a win versus Utah Valley and a cold, brisk loss to Montana. But now the roads lead back to west, to Cheney, where the memory still lingers for Washington State, as Western Washington broomed them aside with a sweep earlier this season. Now a different year, but yet the same opponent for the Cougars as they take on Western Washington here in Cheney. I'm Zach McFarlane alongside Connor, and we have an interview here with Coach Lupinacci, and we're going to play that for you right now.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Connor. I am down on the ice with head coach John Lupinacci after warm-ups before this game against Western Washington. Coach, you're coming off a game last night against the University of Montana Grizz. You lost 8-1. This is the third game in your guys' kind of weekend series. How is maybe that factoring into the legs for the boys coming into this last game?
Well, last night's game, score doesn't really represent how close of a game it actually was. So we were pretty happy with most of the play yesterday and coming in flying tonight. And so far, it's been a good weekend of hockey and a little redemption from last night. Take out a little revenge on a rival. Excited to set the tone, a month ahead of the tournament to have, the third place team play the fourth place team, and let's go at it. Let's see what we got and get ready as we head into playoffs.
Absolutely. And we've heard word that the goaltender situation for the Vikings, they're not starting Nolan Moreno. They're going with their backup goaltender who has yet to play so far this year. How does that maybe factor into your guys' game plan for this game?
It doesn't change a thing. I mean, you still put pucks in deep, put pucks on net and grind. So that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach Connor. Zach, back to you in the booth.
That was Smith Sly with Coach Lupinacci about the upcoming game tonight. And again, I'm Zach McFarlane on KGR alongside Connor Simmons. And tonight we have an interesting one. We're going to play Western here. And I think the first thing we got to talk about, how many players does Western come with to this game?
Well, right now they only have 14. Maybe there was someone left out of the locker room, but we counted 14 players here in warm-ups, including one of their star players in Jacob James, the twin brother of Aaron James, who Jacob James has racked up 10 goals, 19 assists, and 29 points, and arguably their third or fourth best player on this team. It doesn't matter. He's on that first and second line, and he's a huge part of this team, which could factor into this game, but I expect long shifts from the Vikings and just overall very fast, even rotations, maybe something along that, especially playing in front of a young goaltender, which I think we should talk about. Coach Lupinacci brought it up, Smith brought it up. The first game of the season for Toki Young. It's not their backup goaltender, it's not their starter. Toki Young, but how does he factor in this game, Zach?
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Morena absolutely stonewall the Cougars in the prior series, but now you're getting Toki Young, the young man out of Bothell, Washington, a freshman who has not played a game yet this season. An interesting decision from Western coming into this one. They are second in the Pac-8 with the Cougars, again, nipping at the heels of any of the top three and fourth. So this is a big game, whether you like it or not, and Western's choice to go to Toki Young is a bold one, but we can see if that will pay off, as realistically, Wazoo's coming off a game where they got smoked by Montana, 8-1. What do you even take away from that game to take into this one, trying to, I guess, recollect yourself?
Well, first off, obviously it's a bad loss, but we talked about this multiple times. Regardless of it being an 8-1 loss, it didn't feel like that. We talked to a bunch of players, talked to Coach Lupinacci. It was one of those situations where it's in the third period, buzzer sounds, wait, they scored 8 goals. That's kind of how the game felt. Montana was a good team. They were the better team that night. It was just kind of those weird games. It was outside, it was freezing cold. Maybe elements played a factor, but it just seemed like offensively Yes, they play in a harder division on Montana. Offensively, whether it was the power play, we couldn't get set up. WSU struggled with passing in the past. They struggled last night as well. An 8-1 game is never a good game. I don't care what you say. It's just not a strong outlook on the hockey game. So with that being said, though, the one outlook we did see was Alexi Cool's been kind of getting roughed up the last couple games, been questionable in some of these games with injuries. And with that game, you take him out after the 8th goal, or 7th goal, my apologies. Then they put in Cole Eastman, who's had a year and a half off and had a pretty good debut despite letting in that first shot on him.
Of course, the return of Cole Eastman, who played with this team for a little while last season and then backed up, of course, all-Pac goaltender Kane Paxton the year before. He had quite the goalie to learn under, and now he will, again, make maybe his return tonight. We will see if Coach Lupinacci decides to put him in at all like he did last night after Alexi let in that 7th goal. And, of course, you never want to start your first debut back with a goal on the first shot. That's never the ideal start. But nonetheless, we will send you down. We're going to get going here of the intro. The Cougars and the Vikings will take the ice here soon enough. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined side by Connor Simmons. You're watching KUGR. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you love these streams. And we will get back to you shortly. National Anthem coming up next. The anthem has gone. The lineups have been read, and the teams get their equipment on and ready to go for the faceoff at center ice. In one end, in between one set of pipes, you have Alexi Cool at 6'1", 210 pounds, the sophomore, trying to get back on the track of winning. And in the other end, a big question mark, like you said, Connor, 6'2", 198, freshman from Bothell. And again, playing in his first game tonight. What's going through your mind? You're playing your first game, and realistically, it's kind of a big game.
It kind of is a big game, so I'm wondering if this is maybe a trap game. And with that being said, it could be a trap game for kind of either team. I don't know if it's a situation where Western thinks, oh, WSU is too easy, let's throw in the throw stringer, or it's a situation of Toki Young's been playing amazing recently in 2026 in his practices, stuff like that. WSU is not going to know what hit him. Like we said, a massive question mark should be upcoming for an exciting game.
No doubt about it. The face-off just about underway here. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and get ready to go in this one. Andrew Fan brings it up and shoots one right into the mesh immediately, and he is your other X factor. 53 points on the year.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's the only one on the ice besides anyone on the Cougars as of late who knows what it's like to play at the Tri-City Toyota Arena, because he was a Tri-City American for quite some time.
Yeah, that just speaks talent right there, Zach.
Faceoff is won by Western. Look out, Cooper Huntersmith there kind of tumbled down to the ice, but recovered and pushed one into the corner. Western in their teal jerseys tonight. Looking like the Columbus Blue Jackets alternates a little bit here. Bringing it up is a shot there by Lucas, and that one blocked in front and walked ahead now, Fan. He glides along, looks at his options. Through the slot, gets smoked. My goodness, Keegan Lucas comes back, and a penalty is coming up here. The arm is up, and a trip against Lucas, and Western will start 33 seconds in on the power play.
Well, not a good start for WSU right there. I know it's a scary sight when you see Andrew Fan, who I think when you put all the points together is technically averaging more points than Wayne Gretzky. 53 points. He is the X factor of the whole entire league. But it looked like a clean hit, but then last second, I guess the ref saw it and looked as a trip, and this is a very powerful offensive team in Western Washington, and giving them a power play 30 seconds of the game is not a recipe for success.
And this past weekend, UW took over at the #1 spot over Western, who held it for a little bit of time, and now they're down in the second spot in the pack, and of course they're looking to try and reclaim the top one. Here's Deegan in the corner with it, trying to dangle by Rayner, could not, and picking it up now is Quinn. Tried for a wraparound, but a good play is made there by Ballard, and Ballard will do the rest and clear the puck out.
Just a great overall care by Lex Ballard. Let's talk about he had a goal in last night's game. He's doing a very good job of getting on the point sheet and leads all defensemen in goals and points.
That he does. He was the lone goal last night, as Chapman has that swatted away by none other than Lex Ballard, who has 11 points, the only defenseman on the team with 10 or more, as this one is rattled all the way down off the glass.
Just a great start so far on the Cougs penalty kill with 1:18 left and 18 minutes and 40 seconds left in this first period, still at a goose egg and no shots on the power play yet for the Vikings.
Look out here, Sahovinen with a good forecheck, and the Cougars starting just the way they want to, other than, of course, taking the penalty. But if you're going to take it, this is the way you want to start, as Robinson clears it back, but Brumbaugh picks it up, and he will move across the red line. No, he is stymied there by Lazaro. Eventually, they do get it up. Huntersmith across the blue line, but again, he is troubled. Ethan Maurer trying to get in the way of a forward there, and this pass for Andrew Fan over the stick, and the rolling puck comes all the way back to Western territory, and the Cougs will get a full change.
This has been a very fast start defensively for the Cougs. They're not letting even Western get set up in the zone just yet.
They had lots of trouble against Western last time around. They played them, kept it close in the first game, but then let the Vikings kind of run away with it in game 2. And this is a lone game series, not a 2-game one. We shall see how it plays out. 21 seconds to go on the power play with 17:45 left in the first. Here's a shot on goal that's blocked down incidentally by a Viking. That was James. Aaron James, of course. Jacob James is scratched tonight. He is not in the lineup, so only Aaron James you will hear.
And with about 5 seconds of the power play, it looks like the Cougs might just be able to clear it, but if you're Western, you're trying to get something set up, and it looks like they can't.
Western with an uncharacteristic start. Bad power play, very ineffective. Chapman trying to leave that off for Curran. Beg your pardon, that's Quinn. Micah Clark now backhands one over, looking for Hembry, not taken away by Sleddy. Here's Quinn looking, tried to dance through and could not. Sahovanin, and the loose puck finds its way to the glove of Cool, and that stoppage of play at 2:57 gone by.
Just a smart play by Alexi Cool, as it wasn't even a shot. It was kind of a deke. You like to see that little deke, the toe drag from Cole Carlson quite a bit, and it just dribbles its way to Alexi Cool, slows the game down, and just makes it easy for him.
Face-off now will come to the left of Alexi Cool. You have a chance here from Quinn to make something happen, and a quick shot right off the draw. He did exactly that, but Cool was ready for it. David Bushkin moving in, shielding the puck in the left wing. He'll fire one from a bad angle. That one rolls to the side of the net and is settled down by Toki Young. Welcome to the game, his first save.
David Bushkin coming off a very hot couple games. I know he didn't get any points in last night's outdoor game, but he picked up a hat trick in Thursday night's performance, which was just an amazing. With Smith likes to call him the freshman phenom, has been a great addition to this Cougs offense.
The Cougars will battle here to the right of Toki Young. Faceoff is won out eventually by the Vikes, and this one off the linesman, but eventually out of the zone.
Almost saved them right there. That was close.
Maurer passed that one through center to nobody, and then this one tried to be glagged down by Bushkin and could not, and wrestled further into the zone and in behind the cage now for Robinson. Muscling Webster off the puck here. Robinson around the corner, trying to leave it off for Bushkin. He does, but Bushkin cannot poke it out. Rolling on edge, and Robinson will fire that one right off the glass and all the way down. It will not be enough for an icing, as Deegan will come back to grab it.
There's a very slow-paced game. Defensively from both teams has been a pretty good start for them unless something happens right here.
Turnover here. Keene could not quite put that one back into the zone, and now Ballard. He's tripped up here. Is there going to be a penalty? No, they don't call it.
Wow.
Interesting there. He does not get the call, and so we play on. Kept alive by Western. Fired back into the opposite corner. Andrew Fan beating Micah Clark to that puck. Threw one out front. There's James. James a shot. Didn't go. In behind. There's Fan in Gretzky's office. Out in front, and a great save made. It's Cool stopping Brumbaugh on the doorstep.
Well, Andrew Fan doing all he can in that kind of situation. There are the dekes, the passes. I set up both of his teammates for two very good opportunities. Alexi Cool stops both of them. But going back to that play, it looks like Lex Ballard, I thought Aaron James' stick got completely lodged in between his skates, and that should have been a penalty. But with that being said, there is nothing. We're still at 5-on-5 hockey.
And this one is, again, not really won by anybody, but pushed to the corner in the air. Almost like a shot attempt right off the faceoff. Here's Johnson at the point, and that one is blocked down and moving back ahead. Cougars cannot connect on their pass. Ballard was looking for Carlson, but it's taken away by Quinn, who's trying to settle it down here for the Vikings, and Sleddy has it at the half wall. Taken by Micah Clark, and that one punched to the corner by Young for his first real shot of the game.
Yes, it is. 15 minutes left in this first period. Still 0-0. Not a lot of shots so far in the first 5 minutes.
Look out here. We got a 2-on-1. It's Chapman. He has a man trailing. Chapman walks in, and a backhander. Denied. What a stop by Cool there. My goodness. Incredible. And we will get an icing here. A good clear from the Cougs, just getting it out of harm's way. I think they took their chances there, but wow, Cool stopped him right. He tried to go short side. What a play.
Well, Chapman honestly made the right decision. The WSU defender went towards, I believe that was Andrew Fan on the right side. Tries to do a deep back and forth to lift up the puck on his backhand. Alexi Cool stops him right there. You can almost compare that to robbing somebody of a home run.
And a face-off again now to the left of Cool. It will be Sahovanin taking on Pearson. And this is one out by Sahovanin, the man from Salo, Finland. As this is banked all the way off the glass. It will go down, but not enough for an icing. Hunter Smith pressured here. Trying to slow that one down with Carlson, but it rolls off his stick, and this one is threaded through center to nobody except for Lucas.
Well, so far with how this game's going, it might be the team that makes the first mistake, and technically WSU did make that first mistake, but Alexi Cool bails him out like he has been doing all season long in those kind of situations.
Here comes the defensive defenseman Sam Hembry with a shot and a save, and that one was kicked out emphatically through the slot. And an opportunity now. Sam Hembry has to back check to get back, but the Vikings are going to dump and change.
You're going to see that probably a lot. I thought it would be more kind of longer kind of shifts for the Vikings, but they're shifting, subbing out pretty fast so far in this game, so you're not seeing them get set up like they usually do in some of these games.
And like we mentioned, very short bench, 14 players, not including the two goaltenders on the roster, and Toki Young, who's on the ice, and Morena, who is on the bench, who's normally their starter. Here's a shot on goal, and a stop made there, and Cool now in butterfly, and now back to hugging the post as this one comes to the point. James pressured by the freshman phenom himself in Bushkin, who pokes that, and then this one comes back in offsides thanks to the possession of Andrew Fan.
Almost had a 2-on-1 break right there, but it hits David Bushkin's, it looked like the back of his skate, and he just had to stop in time, and that gave enough for, I believe that was Aaron James, number 91, just to get back just in time to tip it, and then obviously it leads to an offsides, but could have been a good break right there for WSU.
13:36 still to play here in period 1. A scoreless contest thus far. And this one is flipped all the way down. And Brandon Smith against Secord, and Brandon Smith didn't quite get there according to the linesman. They'll take it all the way back for another icing.
And he definitely said or had a choice of words right there as he looked to be very upset. But this is what we kind of saw yesterday before Montana kind of took the game away and grabbed it by its horns. It was just a bunch of clears for WSU. They're not getting set up offensively, and that is the one thing they need to improve on is the offensive side.
Faceoff finally won out by Quinn. The Vikings trying to gain some offensive possession in the offensive zone, and just taking that one away was Chapman. Aurelio. Onside play, Secord fanned on it. Maybe the stick of Brandon Smith got in the way, and Evan King strides ahead and just floats this one across the red line for a dump. Brandon Smith trying to slow it down, now trying to win a stick battle, and does. A good play by the senior. Threw right to the slot there, and King just couldn't quite corral it. King backhands one down low for Brandon Smith. He is now muscled off the puck by Secord. Brandon Smith grabbed it for a little while, and Lex Ballard will now be muscled here at center. As Sleddy pushed it ahead for Chapman, Robinson is there. And Chapman will work over on Robinson now at the far half wall. That comes out for Ballard, and he will regroup in behind the cage for the Cougars. And feathering that one through for King. Carver Johnson trying to get back against King for defense. King with a little bit of wheels, tried to dance by, and he is crunched. My goodness, Sleddy pushed him right down to the ice. Wow, here's Ballard, a shot from long range, and that didn't go. An active bounce off the glass. Could not find the stick of Carlson out of midair. He could not quite baseball bat that one as they wrestle for it here in the right circle. This one will go off the boards and back out to center, and the Cougars again regrouping. Lex Ballard looking to push it back in, and he will dump it.
Well, to me, Lex Ballard almost hit the dome of Toki Young right there. That was a very high shot. It was a very fast shot, too, as Lex Ballard looks to be like a wing right now instead of a defender. He's moving pretty fast. He brought that up multiple times, one of the faster guys on this team, despite being a defenseman. That was a very fast shot from center ice, and Toki Young probably didn't expect it, as he didn't react as fast as something you might see from a third-string defender. Or goalies, I should say.
And with lots of travel, one of the things I like to see, at least out of the hockey teams, is always what they wear to the games, to the venues. You see a lot of suits, and you see a lot of jackets, cool things, windbreaker perchance, as this one is floated toward the net, but again stopped off by Toki Young. And he will hold on to that. And 11:45 to go in the first. Shots are 5 even. We're also scoreless.
Yeah, well, I think 3 of the shots for WSU came right there, but Toki Young, something that really impressed me right there on that sequence was he stayed strong every single time there was a rebound, every single time Cole Carlson was trying to bat it in. He didn't break. It's bend, don't break right now for Toki Young, and he didn't bend, or he didn't break right there.
And here's a chance here. Brumbaugh trying to get there first, but Keegan Lucas using the speed to take that option away. It could have been a 2-on-1 and a nice angle play by Fan. And Lucas had that one knifed away from him by Secord. And we'll settle it down here for Hembry.
Well, smart play by Keegan Lucas as it looked to be a 2-on-1 break, but he chose the decision that can be risky sometimes and go for the puck almost immediately, and it worked out in his favor that time.
Andrew Fan absolutely putting a body on Luke Jurgensen right there. It's usually the opposite. Jurgensen has been a physical guy since he got on this team, but he had a good hit right there from Fan. Robinson with a shot on goal through traffic, gets through, but it is stopped off nonetheless, and Toki Young looked like he wanted to cover that one, but the Vikings will take it out instead. Secord. Nice little thread through pass down for James, who has it in the corner. Robinson got that out of harm's way, off the glass and into the mesh, and that will be a stoppage of play with 10:46 to go.
Going back to what you said, with Toki Young looking like he wanted to clear it up, that's going to be a situation where chemistry, but obviously Toki Young not being the usual man between the pipes, it was a situation where Cooper Hunter-Smith didn't know what his goaltender want and shows the ability for him to play, which is, in my opinion, the smartest play, because you know what you're going to do, you don't know what the opposite player is going to do.
And that's about experience and playing, just like broadcasting for us. It's all about experience and getting reps in, and Toki Young getting his first real reps in tonight. And so obviously you have to get some chemistry of when you want to cover, when you want to pass it out, what you want to do as a goaltender for your team. You are the last line of defense as here comes Rayner. Across the blue line, has Lazaro, save and rebound, kicked out. Looking like he wanted Lazaro. Here's Rayner spinning in the top of the slot, didn't go in. Bushkin now trying to fight for it in behind the cage, and it comes out to Webster, who will clear that one all the way down. Ethan Mauer's not going to get there, but getting there first will be a Viking. Just threw one right through the crease and unable to find anybody there. And this one will finally go into the mesh as Wojcicki tried to push that one across the crease but couldn't quite do it with 10:07 to go.
Well, Van Rayner, usually you see him picking up the rebounds. He had 2 really good quality wrist shots right there, where Toki Young had to think about it and make a couple good saves.
And now with 10:07 left in the first frame, still we are scoreless, and now we have a whistle from the man in the orange sleeves. And he says, not ready, not ready. And we will go again. It'll be Sleddy against Rayner. Sleddy wins it clean. There's Quinn, a shot on goal and a save, and paddling that one back to himself was cool for the cover, and just 3 seconds gone by.
With 10 minutes and 4 seconds left in this first period, still 0 goals, and like you said, the shots are tied up once again with 7-7. Alexi Cool makes a good pad save with his left leg right there.
Winning the battle, here's Lazaro for that puck. Got it to Bushkin. He had a hat trick against UVU on Thursday. Here's a direction toward the net, but Lazaro puts it just wide. He's looking for that connection from Bushkin. Ballard fanning on it here, look out. Cool had to play that one away quickly, and it comes out to center, and it stops off near the half wall, and now here comes Lazaro. Right wing, walks in a shot. I believe that caught the bar. Might have hurt a tank, not quite sure, but nonetheless, it gave Young a little bit of fits as this one is poked back out across the line, and maybe a 2-on-2, but Secord has it knocked away by Clark.
Well, just the overall, I don't think anyone in the arena thought Max Lazaro was going to take that shot, as I thought he was going to just dump it off to Van Rayner right behind him for maybe a better opportunity, but it rung the bell, got the Cougs coming home right there, and maybe thinks Toki Young starts thinking a little bit more.
Bit of an awkward angle as Umale now vying for the puck, and he will just throw one on net that's wide. Never left the surface of the ice, and Keegan Lucas coming down low with it. Sent it out front for Umale. He bats it back below the goal line, and Hunter Smith takes over for the Vikings. And he will try and get around, but King, forechecking hard. He has been a fiery player to come out in this first period. The Vikings will eventually kind of stick one away, but again, the Cougar forecheck a little relentless right now. Umale down low for, that is Lucas Clark, I beg your pardon. As here comes a shot from Lucas down low, a block chance, another try, puck is loose. There's a scramble at the top of the crease, but it is finally covered by Young with 8:33 to play.
Well, I like what WSU's doing is since Thursday, it seems like the defenders are shooting a lot more, whether it's hitting the net or not hitting the net. A lot of them are getting through the goaltender regardless if it's a rebound, hit off the defense, hit off one of your own guys. Either way, it's getting to the net, and you're getting shots on that net as it bounces and look like an easy save for Toki Young right there. But I believe there was a backhand in there by one of the wing guys for WSU.
No doubt about it. Toki Young looking strong to start. 8 shots on goal for him. He has been perfect through all. And we're over halfway through this first period. Hembry drops it off for Lucas. Hembry, one of the oldest guys out there for Washington State. Senior defenseman, one of their better veterans. Cole Carlson. Toki Young left that in behind, and Carlson looked to grab that one off, could not. This one is by the stick of Hembry, and Fan has speed, but Lucas has a little bit more and pokes it off his stick. What a brilliant play on a back check effort. As Jurgensen finds Carlson, a little thread pass through center. That one intercepted. Brumbaugh, and a penalty coming up. This one's going to be against the Vikings, and a cross-checking minor will be assessed, and it looks like none other than the WHLer himself, who's going to be guilty of the penalty.
Yeah, Andrew Fan. Honestly, he's had that happen 2 times to him now, where Keegan Lucas is the fastest man in that situation. It looked like Andrew Fan was going to get a breakaway. I bet Alexi Cool was sweating a little bit, but Keegan Lucas beats him back, and it leads to an Andrew Fan penalty that gives the Cougars a power play with 8 minutes left in this first period. Just immaculate plays, starting with Keegan Lucas.
No doubt, Alexi Cool must have had his heart beating. Get the doctor and the stethoscope. That could have been brutal. Here's Lazaro in the circle. Tried to get that one through and could not. And now it is Carlson who will dance around the cage, shielding the puck away. Lost his left mitt, and we'll have to go back and get that, but leaves off for Robinson, whose shot comes off of a stick and into the mesh above the cage with 7:37 to go.
So far, it looks to be a very explosive power play unit with Max Lazar, Cole Carlson. You got Van Rayner and Smoley Hoven, and even Lucas Robinson, who has a very good slap shot as a defenseman on this team. They have 1:37 left on the power play, 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first period. It's still 0-0.
Here's Secor, just rattles this one all the way around the back wall. And this will come all the way down, and Cool will play it. And signaling to Robinson, I'll leave it off for you.
Well, I'll tell you right now, with the power play unit kind of struggling throughout the whole year, something you want to see more is just getting shots on net. Regardless if it doesn't end up in a goal, just getting shots on net and get some momentum building, especially towards come playoff time.
So Hovinen looked to go down low for Carlson as they're trying to break away this four-man defensive box for Western. Carlson off the wall down low. Sahovinen pushed heavily into the board there. My goodness. He went down thanks to Pearson, who's wrestling with him. They will play on as nothing illegal from the referee was seen. And this one is cleared eventually by the Vikings with less than a minute to go on the Andrew Fan minor for cross-checking.
Well, number 26, Patrick Pearson, sent Smolisa Hovinen to the ground. I'll tell you right now, Smolisa Hovinen is not a little guy. He's a big guy, so it is not easy to just shove him to the ground like that. So Pearson uses all of his strength, and that leads to a clear attempt by the Vikings.
So Hovinen standing at 6'2", 200 pounds. Like you said, not a light guy by any means, but he went down pretty hard there. 8-8 in the shot column. That's Hembry handing it off in a little jet sweep play for Max Lazaro. Speaking of jet sweep in football, you have the Bears and Rams game going on right now. They are at the half. As we continue this first period, 6:10 to go. Here's Hembry, tried to float it through the slot. Nobody there, and Ballard will recover at the point. Ballard with a wrister on net. That one deflected wide. And Young will paddle that aside, and looks like he lost his goal stick. He is without his twig. Carlson comes out front, and a shot held by Young. He's looking around for it, but he's got it in between his pillows with 5:54 to go.
Just a lucky sequence for Toki Young right there. Unlucky that he loses his stick, but he was trying to bat it away right there and just got knocked away. But Cole Carlson, it has to be fast recognition where you understand that the goalie doesn't have his stick. You cannot aim at his chest like that where you can catch it and slow the game down. Just an unfortunate opportunity. Yes, a good shot, but there could have been so many better chances right there for WSU with Toki Young not having his stick.
And Evan King will lose this face-off in the offensive zone to Quinn of the Vikings. And they will now dump it around and tag up a little bit as Chapman had to come off. He was in a delayed offside situation for his team.
As we are back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Power play time is up. Andrew Fan not back out there at the moment, but he is out of the box. And, of course, probably the most dangerous man in the Pac-8 with 53 points, like we mentioned earlier. That is by far the most in the pack.
Well, and something I think we should point out is that he leads in assists as I believe another penalty is coming up right now. Yes, there's going to be a penalty.
It seems to be a roughing against Micah Clark.
Wow, I didn't see too much as I was watching the puck, so maybe some extracurricular stuff right here at the blue line is look where that's where Micah Clark was. But going back to Andrew Fan, oh, he's a very talented player. You'd think it would be the goals is where he gets all his points. No, but he's a very good teammate as he's 36 assists, which is insane. That's more than any WSU guy in points right now. It's just unbelievable what he's doing.
No doubt about it, and you can't forget what Lexi Cool said in their first matchup. Wasn't impressed with Andrew Fan. Despite, of course, the amount of points that he recorded that weekend, it was quite a few. He added on to his 53 that he has now. They'll go down low for Fan in the opposite corner. Just shoves that one back for Secord. Secord lets one rip, and he scores! Secord from the point, let one go, and it's 1-0 Vikings.
Well, Ethan Secord chose his spot, and Alexi Cool, I guess, chose his poison right there. That's his 11th goal of the season. He is now at 37 points. He's from Bellingham, Washington. He was at the blue line playing that kind of defensive role, and he goes top right, and it beats Alexi Cool. Just a great overall shot by Ethan Secord, and they now have a lead at the late first period mark.
Just a clean shot, beating Cool over the glove, and realistically, there's probably some traffic in front. And a power play goal for Western is the only thing that separates us so far, as Jurgensen fires that one across ice to Carlson. Nice move, and he tried to dance around his man in Secord, and the toe drag does not work there.
No, it does not. It's Cole Carlson had an opportunity right there. Maybe was trying to pass it.
Here's Secord, walks in, a shot off the glove, and the rebound, loose puck in front, and battle away to the corner. And then another one, chance thrown there by Secord again. I beg your pardon. That is Sleddy, who got that one through but could not. Carlson dances through one. He's got the left wing, moving on in, dances by. What a move! Unbelievable stop. It's Young with the pad. Wow, what a stop, my goodness. But back the other way come the Vikings. Here comes Pearson trying to speed around Lucas, threw one to the front, and that one is paddled away from harm's way with 3:49 to go as the Cougars recoup.
Cole Carlson doing a little okey doke, trying to get himself on ESPN top 10 plays of the night right there, but it ends up going the opposite way as Toki Young lays out, makes an incredible save, and keeps the Vikings out in front.
Made those defenders look like mannequins out there. They were standing still, had no idea what to do. And the Cougars will try and get their offense going here. Bushkin comes down to the ice. Chapman walks it in through the blue line. Stops and starts and pushes one on for his defender. Couldn't quite get that one through. And moving in is the speed of Lex Ballard up the left wing. Here's a chance in front. Didn't go. Bushkin lifted the stick out of the hand of a Viking there and almost had a chance to tap that one home from the slot. Settling it down to the point. Clark with a shot that goes nowhere near the cage. It goes far left. And Rayner with a great stick lift here, but cannot keep the puck in at the end of the day. And Sleddy just trying to get rid of this one from his own blue line, get it out of a dangerous opportunity. Bushkin one-hands that one, grabs it down, and banks it off the glass, but Sleddy got the better of him with 2:43 to go, and the Cougars again regrouping.
Well, David Bushkin stick lifted one of the Viking defenders, and the stick went flying in there. Almost looked like a little dramatic.
No doubt about that. Aaron James, beautiful L1 move like in shell on by the defense, but couldn't get anything going, not even a shot with 2:25 now remaining. 11-10, and we have a little bit of extracurricular between James and Lazaro. The arms of the officials will stay down. Fan kept it alive at the point, down low for Brumbaugh, and getting a piece of that is cool. He kept that one out. Still vying for it. Fan gets through. Bodies going down to the ice here. John Lupinacci, the coach of the Washington State Cougars, is absolutely upset. We have another kind of altercation here as Brandon Smith was shoved up high by Carver Johnson. He's going to go to the box. There's an arm of the official up, but I think something was called prior. We may have coincidental minors here.
Just a weird sequence right there. It looked like Max Lazaro and Aaron James. It seems something always weird just happened when me and you are in the booth right now, Zach. But it seemed like it was a Max Lazaro hit. Maybe Aaron James took it the wrong way, maybe it was too aggressive. They're discussing it right now, but heat is rising. The tension is rising early on in this first period, which may lead to some more hits, potential even fights later on in the rest of this game, because there's two minutes left in this first period, and Western Washington is up 1-0. But it looks like WSU is going to keep on keep the power plays. It doesn't look like any of them are going to the bench. Oh, it might be. Oh, they sent out Carver Johnson and sent in Aaron James. So that's where the switch up is going to be. It's going to be a power play for WSU. So WSU will be on the man advantage unless they score a goal early on for the rest of this first period. Just a weird sequence.
This is interesting. It's always you and me in the booth, and something odd happens. And to my left, I just saw DJ Moore make one of the greatest grabs I've ever seen for Chicago. My goodness. And now we have a power play for the Cougs, and it's seemingly a penalty against James, like you said, for what looks like a cross-check is what they signaled. And it will just be a 5-on-4, so no other penalties called with 2:01 to go. So if Western can clear this, the penalty will expire just as the period does as well. But the Cougars, of course, looking to tie this game and ending the power play early. As time ticking down here in the first frame. Pearson tried to clear that one. Rayner just out-positioning him with that puck. Smart play by the alternate captain. Now for the real captain here. Carlson with a shot on goal. Deflected just wide of the cage. And keeping that one alive is Ballard. Wrestled off the puck by Fan. He got it to his man, Hunter Smith, but a jumping play by Ballard blocks the clear. And now just a relentless forecheck. This one kept alive, not quite. off the glove of Carlson, and it sputters out across the line.
Well, we're seeing Coach Lupinacci make a sub on the power play as Lex Ballard comes in for, I believe it's Max Lazaro on the usual first unit power play, and Lex Ballard's got a spark going for them so far as it's going to be 5-on-3 right now.
And a penalty coming up. Andrew Phan's going to go for his second time of the night already. That is an easy slash call, and now you have a 5-on-3, and of course the Cougar power play has been, to say the least, very ineffective this season, but on a 5-on-3, you just almost expect to go almost every time.
You almost have to. It all depends on passing, but going back to what I was saying about Lex Ballard, brought a little spark to that first. It looked about 40 seconds of the power play. Didn't allow Western to clear as a defenseman. He was on the forecheck, not letting them do anything, whether it's behind the Toki Young, playing the blue line. WSU is in a really good position right now, 5-on-3, especially with Lex Ballard on the ice.
And here it kind of cycles its way to Hembry. Down low, a shot from Ballard at the high point. Couldn't get that one to go. Carlson now at the near half wall, and it will glide right out of the zone. A minute left on the power play and a minute left in the period. 58 now and ticking with Hembry carrying it up. The big veteran defenseman establishes the zone, finds Jurgensen, dances through, across it goes to Carlson, and a one-time shot is held and swallowed up by Young. Is this guy a ringer?
It might be. Apparently he's playing good at practice to start in tonight's game. With 47 seconds left in this first period, Toki Young is staying strong and holding WSU to a big old goose egg.
No doubt about it. He's been tremendous so far. Again, 13 shots his way. He's been in front of all of them. Ballard now with a shot on goal. Can't get it to go. Off the skate. Scramble in front. Through the slot. A backhander. That one blocked down. And now Carlson looking for it in the corner here. Carlson gets it through to Ballard. Great save. Fighting that one off is Young. Incredible pressure here from the Cougars. Rayner at the circle. On a cross, and Ballard pushed it wide. Jurgensen now wrestling with Quinn in the corner. Jurgensen backhands it to the point. It finds its way to Hembry. He'll go across Carlson. A one-time shot fanning on it. And Hunter Smith will clear that one all the way down. You've got 11 seconds to go. Can you get one final rush? Cool will send it way up to center. Cole Carlson now 5 seconds to go. He's got to get it through to somebody. It will come out of the zone. A brilliant play by Quinn. That'll do it.
Declan Quinn making a, I want to say, sliding, on the ground on one knee kind of save. But what a finish to the end of that first period. It's only a one goal hockey game, but what an exciting game as they're pushing, they're shoving, there's animosity. Toki Young might be player of the game at this rate right now. He is making incredible saves. He's 15 for 15 right now and his first ever start as a goaltender. And it looks right now as Saletti is talking to the officials right now, pointing towards WSU. Wonder if that's a situation of like, hey, watch this guy, watch that guy. But someone I think we should start talking about again is Lex Ballard bringing that spark. He had so many shots. He fanned on a one-timer that could have been a goal, but Cole Carlson did the exact same thing. Opportunities are there for WSU. And Saletti now heading to the locker room after talking to all four officials. I'm wondering if they'll start cracking down in that second period, Zach.
Absolutely. We saw some definite chippiness in that period, of course. And if you're Wazoo, you got to be disappointed. You didn't score in the 5-on-3. But, man, did you have some serious looks on that 5-on-3. And like you said, Young just holding strong in between the pipes. He has been absolutely nothing short of incredible. And what a debut for the season. He is a perfect 15 for 15 through the first. But, again, if you're the Cougs, another 5-on-3 and just a power play. You still have 42 seconds to go, but another power play that you probably should have scored on that's unsuccessful. At what point does the frustration kind of from that just boil over?
I almost want to say it's not boiling over because this has been kind of the look of it all kind of season long. It was you can't say a good 5-on-3 because almost every 5-on-3, like you said, should end up in a goal. But there was so many opportunities. Yes, Toki Young is standing strong, and it's very impressive so far. But it's also a situation he can get beat. You see the holes. Everyone has seen the holes. There's a lot of empty shots, a lot of missed shots that could end up in goals. So he's not unbeatable, I guess you could say. You have to start cracking down, especially on 5-on-3s. You do have 42 seconds to prove yourself a little bit more on the Andrew Phan penalty. But I expect there to be a lot more penalties, so this isn't going to be the last. I would even take a guess this wouldn't even be the last WSU 5-on-3.
I don't think so. The way it's been going, there's been quite a few penalties already. Andrew Phan taking 2 of them from Western, a slash, and of course a penalty earlier on. Pretty uncharacteristic from the guy who played at a very high level in the WHL. But nonetheless, Ethan Secord is our difference maker thus far. He has the lone goal from the point on the power play to make it 1-0. And Connor Simmons will have your play-by-play in the second period. I'm Zach McFarlane. You're watching KUGR, and the second period will be on in about 13 minutes. Do not go away. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth, Cole Carlson, all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores! What a snipe.
Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got two Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangle shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We will try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman, stops the Sharks, puts the on goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman, 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rayner pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rayner as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rayner doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rayner again, makes a move. Rayner drives it towards the net. Flaudier, top right, bang! My, oh my! Van Rayner has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kinskillen. Nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rainer. One time, Lazaro shoots and scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores! What a snipe.
Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got two Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangle shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We'll try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman. He stops the Sharks. Puts the on goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman. 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rainer as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game.
You are listening to a KUGR sports production.
Another rushing touchdown for what might be the best rushing quarterback in all of college football right now.
Your eyes and ears for every WSU sporting event.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Listen live to games on YouTube at KUGR Sports.
Underneath it, Johnstone makes the grab and wins the game. Washington State wins it 7-5. Logan Johnstone makes the snag.
And now, here are your hosts.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
A freshman goaltender making his first start of his college career, and he goes by the name of Toki Young. He made 15 amazing saves in that first period, and it leads to Western Washington being up by 1 after 20 minutes. I'm Connor Simmons, joined in the booth by Zach McFarlane for a very exciting first period hockey game, and looking to be a very exciting second period hockey game. Before all that, our colleague Smith Sly got a quick interview.
That he did, and let's have a listen.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Connor. We're down on the ice with head coach John Lupinacci after the first period of action in this Pac-8 matchup. It's 1-0 heading to the locker room. You're out shooting the Vikings. This kind of looks like the closest you guys have been with them since that first matchup of the year. What does maybe that mean to you that you're going to the locker room only down by 1?
Oh, yeah, this is a good hockey game. I mean, two good clubs, right? We said in the beginning, third place team, fourth place team banging it out. That's what they're doing tonight. Hopefully they keep their heads, and both teams stay off the penalty kill. But hey, we'll take it right now. We're getting a nice penalty, generating good offense. We'll keep it going, right? It's a close one. Love those.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Andrew Fan's going to be in the box for the first 42 seconds of the second period. What's it mean to have their best player behind the glass at the outset of that period?
I mean, it's all the same. They've got about 4 or 5 guys who are all, dangerous threat and smart hockey players. So it's frustrating for them to not have the space that they're used to. The boys are taking away space, and they're doing their jobs and keeping pucks down on the other end. So it's frustrating to their team. Hopefully he gets out of the box and gets to play good hockey for his team.
Thank you, Coach. Connor, Zach, back to you.
With 1 minute and 25 seconds till second period puck drop, it seems to be not a big goal-scoring game, but a very exciting game at that. And we saw Ethan Secker talking to all 4 officials at the end of that first period, pointing towards WSU guys. We don't know who it is quite yet, but do you think the officials will start cracking down, maybe call a little bit more here in the second period, despite Andrew Fan already having one to start the period?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it has been a very chippy physical game already in the first period. You had some kind of altercations over by the Cougar bench. We've seen Johnny Lupinacci kind of erupt in emotion a little bit, kind of angry with the non-calls that they kind of let go, but they have called more or so Western thus far, and I think that's Ethan Seekert kind of saying, hey, let's call it both ways. Maybe, hey, they're doing something that you are missing, and, you're calling us a lot more than you're calling the Cougs, and right now that could be true. The Cougars might be getting away with some things, but nonetheless, it's been physical. I think the referees are kind of maybe already tired of the jawing that they're getting at them, so you might see them call a little more, or this could be one of those UW games where they lose all control and stop calling anything.
Well, and we brought his name up multiple times, whether it's good, whether it's bad. He's made a couple good passes, a couple good dekes here and there, but it seems like Andrew Fan, who's quote-unquote the MVP of the league, of the division, is hurting his team more than helping. Let's talk about that.
He has gotten 2 penalties already tonight and really hasn't done too much for his team. In fact, the one chance he did have, Keegan Lucas was able to come back and swipe the puck away from him, and a good opportunity, almost had a breakaway, but again, nonetheless, he hasn't done too much, and Alexi Kuhl, his statement he made about him, right now, it pans to be true.
Yes, it does.
But, of course, we only played the first 20 minutes. We got 40 more to go, guaranteed, and we will see if he has any kind of positive effect for his team going forward. But, of course, can't forget 42 seconds left on his minor, so that much time on a 5-on-4 power play for the Cougs.
And to start the period, it's going to be the power play unit number 1 for WSU, as it's Cole Carlson, Smusa Hovenen, Van Rayner, Lucas Robinson, and we talked about it. Coach Lupinacci made a sub. It's going to be Lex Ballard, who's added he's young, fresh legs, added a little bit spark. His second period is underway of KUGR hockey. I'm Connor Simmons, joined with Zach McFarlane, looking to be an exciting second period of WSU hockey. Behind the net of Lexi Kuhl, Lucas Robinson drops it off for Lex Ballard, looking to use his wheels. That's his X factor, he told us last night. Lex Ballard stops on the brakes, sends it up to Lucas Robinson. From the point, rips it, shoots. Stopped away, pad saved by Toki Young. 18 seconds left on the power play. Carlson looking for a man. Gets it to one. That's going to be that's going to be Van Rayner. Van Rayner gets a pass tipped away, and they have to recheck up as a clear back into the zone. Toki Young is the one to touch it. Lucas Robinson cleared it back in. And it clears away Van Rayner. Another bad pass by him leads to us going back to 5-on-5 hockey. Almost a good couple opportunities right there, Zach, but just couldn't get to go in those last 40 seconds.
Nonetheless, you could not. And then, of course, you have the pass from Rayner. He tried to get it through, but I believe the stick of Quinn just got to him enough, and it pushes the puck out of the zone for essentially they have to tag up an offside delay. But now you wanted Western there, wanted an icing. They don't get one, and now you have Fan here moving in.
Micah Clark Lucas Clark, my apologies, with a last second save with Andrew Fan on his hip. Like a pistol, Andrew Fan hits him right there. But WSU's got to recheck. It looks like Western Washington's coming out way faster, especially after finishing up that penalty kill of Andrew Fan's cross-check or tripping. Cole Carlson in the first line, majority of them still out right now as Cole Carlson now goes for the sub with 18 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period. WSU down by 1 after Ethan Seckard's snipe shot on their power play. Stealing it once again. Here comes Western. Might have a 2-on-1 break. Looks to pass it to Brett Brumba. Can he get it? No, sliding just a little bit too soon. Trying to get it back to him as he gets right back. Brett Brumba looking for another, shoots it. Doesn't even touch Alexi Cool. Andrew Fan with Brandon Smith on him now, battling on the boards. Andrew Fan's the man to win that. Aaron James back out to defenseman at the point, rips it right in center line. Good save right there by Alexi Cool as he saw it pretty well. Andrew Fan once again trips and falls on his own accord right there. There's going to be a 3-on-2 break for WSU. Bringing up is going to be Evan King. He sends it back in. Brandon Smith on the forecheck now. Almost a bad pass loose to Toki Young, having an own goal, which might be the only way to beat him right now. Micah Clark with a cupcake shot right there, and it looks like Toki Young's playing catch with dad right now with how that easy was.
An easy snag, but nonetheless, I want to go back to that 2-on-1. Aaron James had Brett Brumba, but a great play. You have Keegan Lucas just bothering and pestering Aaron James the whole time. He's trying to get the pass off, can't get it to go, and then when he finally does, it's behind Brett Brumba and just couldn't get it to go. He slides and has to kind of field it behind him, and he's unable to get really any kind of shot on goal there, and that's a great defensive play.
What could have been a 2-0 hockey game leads to it keeping a 1-score game for WSU. Back in front, sends it, can he get a shot? Toki Young saves it, doesn't glove it. Trying to get back to Lex Ballard, one-timer! Almost gets the one-timer to go top or right, but just misses it. Might even graze the bar right there, Zach. Lex Ballard's flying all over the place right now in this game, though.
He is an absolute X factor, no doubt about it. His one-timer right there in a brilliant setup, whistles just wide of the cage. No way Young was stopping that one if that were just a little bit down and to the left.
A good bunch of opportunities right now for WSU as they're going to call offsides. Patrick Pearson, one of the assistant captains on this team, thought maybe he could get it back on sides, but with 16 minutes and 58 seconds left in the second period, good opportunities for WSU, good opportunities for Western Washington, still no goals yet.
I think that offsides kind of goes in the Cougars' direction. I don't think that necessarily left the zone. I think Pearson kept that alive, and he was a little bit confused by the call, but of course, we do have a faceoff outside the zone, and Adam Seagar, the head coach for Western, has kind of been a little upset here with some of the officiating so far, and that one, of course, no different.
You have seen both coaches get a little heated at the refs so far with about not even halfway through this game. I wonder if that's going to keep going with maybe missed calls, or maybe they're going to look up for it and maybe make up some calls, which might arouse some more coaches right there. Looking to get back in, 2-on-1. Smolisovin, it tries to go top left. Almost tried to bank it, looking like Connor McDavid off the goaltender right there. Trying to get it, Smolisovin to his man, Cole Carlson. No, it's going to tip away all the way out to Ethan Maurer, who clears it right back in. WSU with 16 shots, and there is a call. Some confusion on the ice. Are they calling?
I think they're calling this icing, Connor.
Ooh. Maybe it was. It was pretty close, but it didn't look like Ethan Maurer. He seemed pretty intent with clearing it back in. I think he was across the half-ice line.
I thought as well, but it looks like the linesmen are going to say he was just shy of it, and so now you had a face-off left to Cool.
Of course, some weird things happen and work on right now. Of course, Connor and Zach on the call. Ethan Maurer cleared attempt seems to be a icing. Cole Carlson with a steal, might have 2-on-1. It's Mihima Luke Jurgensen. No, it's going to go 1-on-1. Cole Carlson rips one, almost gets it to go. Toki Young did miss it on his glove, so Cole Carlson did beat him on the glove side, just wasn't on net. Hembry keeps it in. Hembry skies it around. It's not going to be to Luke Jurgensen. It's going to be the other WSU defenseman. I believe that's Keegan Lucas, who gets spinned around, and Keegan Lucas is on the ground in pain right now. Nothing is up. Coach Lupinacci's hands are up. He is in disgust right now, and the refs finally blow it dead.
Well, that wasn't quite a knee-to-knee by any means, but that definitely probably should have been called, and Lucas is, unfortunately, right now writhing in pain on the ice, and he kind of got tangled up with the defenseman, but it looked pretty deliberate. And now you have, again, some teammates coming to the aid of him, and he is a star defenseman, a young man you don't want to lose. And so obviously, for a multitude of reasons, you hope he is okay. Of course, the freshman from Gig Harbor is now being attended to by Jim Clark.
And Keegan Lucas is in second place for goals as a defenseman, right behind Lex Ballard, who scored. He was tied for first outside of that game last night where Lex Ballard scored the goal. But he is in heavy pain right now. Still hasn't even gotten to one knee yet, with 15 minutes and 51 seconds left in the second period. Western Washington up by 1. Keegan Lucas, a defenseman who pushed up a little bit too high. You don't see as a defenseman push up that high as much usually, but Keegan Lucas made the play. He's made 2 outstanding plays on Andrew Fan tonight that could have resulted in goals. As we talked about, Lexi Coole's heart's probably racing or sweating, but Keegan Lucas was the man to save there, as Keegan Lucas has beat Andrew Fan in multiple races so far just in that first period.
And, of course, you don't want to speculate what might be going on. He is now getting kind of helped off the ice, limping a little bit, but what you can kind of assume here is it is some sort of lower body injury that he has suffered from just now. And so you hope, again, that you see him back out of the ice. But, of course, we will kind of keep an eye on him and keep an eye on that situation. But for right now, face-off on the outside of Viking territory.
Face-off and hockey is back underway. There was no penalties, so we're still at 5-on-5 hockey. Cole Carlson had to retouch, and he does a couple good moves, going to his backhand, send it to Sam Hembry up in front, and Toki Young stops it almost immediately. Sam Hembry had to get it last second, try to raise it up. It's almost like Toki Young just swallowed that puck.
Hembry unfortunately pushed it right into Young. A grade A chance, good from Carlson. He has been dancing this game, and he has been successful on a good amount of his moves, and he just left it off for Hembry. You almost maybe wonder there if Hembry kind of waits patiently, maybe goes short side, maybe tries a wraparound there with Young out of position. But, of course, he tries the backhand and just can't quite put it home on Young.
Face-off is won by the Vikings. Looking to clear it, hits the back of, I believe, Luke Jurgensen. Jurgensen takes it like a champ, though. Lex Ballard does a spinorama, his second X Factor. He shoots, and it's scored! Lex Ballard!
Are you kidding me? Lex Ballard, what a Gino. He spins away from defenders at the point and lets a seeing eye shot go, and Toki Young has fallen. The shutout is over. He snipes one by, and not only that, he ties the game. Pure brilliance from the young man with his 4th goal of the year.
Man, have a weekend, Lex Ballard. We've already talked a lot about how he's added to this game. It's not even halfway through. He gets his 2nd goal of the weekend. Lex Ballard with a great shot. Both goals this game by Ethan Sickert and Lex Ballard have been top right, and he even rung the bell just to make it sting a little bit more, and the celebration has been, he did the flying eagle, Zach.
The Kuznetsov, Connor.
Just an amazing, amazing weekend for Lex Ballard. Let's see if he can keep it going, as we have now a tie game with 15 minutes left in the second period after the Lex Ballard goal tipped into the netting. A pass trying to get to David Bushkin. If that netting wasn't there, it seemed like it was coming to us, Zach.
I was grabbing that. I was going to give that one an old-fashioned Odell. I was going to go back to 2016. I definitely had that one right in the left hand. But, wow, I mean, the Cougars have really just – this is a whole new team. This is a team we saw before break. It looks like they're getting back in rhythm right now. They're forechecking hard. And, quite frankly, they are outplaying Western.
It has been an overall good performance right now. Toki Young tried to stay strong. You can't save a shot like that. But here comes Andrew Fan coming up the middle, makes a couple guys miss, but 2 defenders right there for WSU. Double trouble right there for Andrew Fan. Brett Brumbuck takes it back in with a man on his right. It's going to be offsides, yes, as he had to kick it. It was a good stick by Max Lazaro to poke check it just last second to get them to reset.
And this has been a defensive game just like the football game on right now. Bears-Rams still tied at 10, kind of heading into that 4th quarter. You know, a defensive game can be exciting. Sometimes it isn't, but this one for sure is. You've had tons of chances and only cashing in on one for both teams. But one thing Western can't say, if Washington State is able to pull this one out, is, well, we didn't have our starting goaltender in, because Toki Young has been unbelievable, and he has absolutely kept the Vikings in the lead for quite a while, and now just tied.
A shot leads to Lexicool batting it away. Andrew Fan gets slammed against the boards, keeps the puck possession go. Andrew Fan making a couple guys miss, and they're going to call yes, as it looked like they were trying to set a basketball screen, but I believe it's going to be the man, Aaron James, number 91. Like we said, set a basketball screen, and you can't do that in hockey. Interference, I believe, is the call.
And in the words of football, that's a little bit of a pick play. You can't do that either. You're going to go to the box for interference all day long. He was trying to help out Andrew Fan with that, Andrew Fan was kind of clearing it a little bit, trying to get it up near the blue line himself, and just kind of, like you said, setting a basketball pick, setting a screen there. You're going to get called for that all day long, and the referee here that was sitting here in the neutral zone saw that all day, and Washington State going back to a power play that has been somewhat effective tonight, at least as far as chances.
And we talked about that at the intermission break. We need to capitalize on the penalty. There's been a lot of penalties. Western's playing undisciplined right now. Face-off behind the net of Toki Young, rattles around the boards, almost seem to be up and out of play, but what a perfect clear right there for the Vikings. So the WSU Cougars have to regroup. Behind the net of Alexi Cool is Lucas Robinson, looking to get it to his man. It's going to be Max Lazaro subbing in for Lex Ballard on the power play, unit 1. Lazaro brings it in all by himself. Lazaro going behind the net of Toki Young. Look for a man up in front. Great pass right there. I believe Van Rader just wasn't ready for it. Cole Carlson now. Carlson deking back and forth behind the net of Toki Young once again. Looking for a man. Spins around. Another man's hurt in the same spot Keegan Lucas was. Tipped around. Max Lazaro. It's going to be Samuel Sahoven who took the hit right there. A saucer pass to Sam Hembry. Now at the point. Back to Lazaro. Lazaro sets up, shoots. Back in front. Shoots in. Nothing. Toki Young slides last second. Lex Ballard's the man to sub in for Samuel Sahoven, who looked to be hurt right there. Lazaro gets hit right now, trying to keep it in. And it is finally cleared away by the man, number 16, Tyler Chapman. Do we want to talk about Samuel Sahoven right there? He got hit. Coach Lupinacci seemed to be a little ticked off that there was no call right there.
Yeah, it's been that way. We've had, again, 2 injuries now for the Cougars, and neither one of them has resulted in a penalty. Unfortunately, I did not quite see what happened to Sahoven, but of course, like you said, he was definitely very shaken up. He's kind of sitting in behind where the players are standing right now on the bench, getting looked at, I'm sure. And of course, just like Keegan Lucas, you hope to see him back on the ice.
And it was in the same exact spot. With 30 seconds left on the power play, Lex Bauer looking for a man. He finds Lucas Robinson at center ice. They're going to try and clear back in. It is 1-1 game. WSU does, it hits the skate of the referee, so WSU can't get it into Western Washington zone. Now 20 seconds left on the power play, but WSU is up by 7 shots here in the second period with about 12 minutes and 40 seconds to play, as they have 21 and Western Washington has 14. Lex Ballard bringing it up, looking for goal number 2, or goal number 3 on the weekend, and it's kicked away, as that will be the rest of the power play. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as number 91, Aaron James, comes back in.
Good defensive shutdown play right there on the zone entry. Lex Ballard was just trying to carry it in himself, a little bit of a 4-man rush on the line, but just couldn't get through.
Are they going to call it again? Yes. WSU is going right back on the power play. Western Washington's not playing discipline right now, Zach.
Not one bit. That one there, you can't even argue. I mean, most of these calls that have been going their way, you just can't argue them, and that's a slash all day long. And Aaron James, who's been in the box a couple of times already, will go back again, and it'll be another power play opportunity for the Cougs, and you just have to wonder, are they going to keep Ballard out there instead of Sahoven? Now maybe coming on the ice, we see Jurgensen instead and Hembry at defense. It should get interesting, but at some point you almost have to think, you keep getting penalties, you keep taking these, you're going to let in a goal at some point. You have to imagine the Cougars will cash in finally.
Well, Luke Jurgensen steps in as Lex Ballard's been on a long couple of shifts, and Luke Jurgensen, a 6-man out of Montana State, he's one of the better passers on this team, so that could get something going for the Cougs on the power play. Declan Quinn steals it and clears it right back into the zone with 1:45 left on the power play and 12 minutes left in the second period. Aaron James was maybe out there for 30 seconds before his last play. He was the one that set the screen for Andrew Fan. Might be to get Declan Quinn out in front. Almost a steal by the Vikings, just a little too late right there. The Vikings having more puck possession time than the Cougs right now. Bringing it across center ice is Luke Jurgensen. His first power play minutes, and he gets it stolen away almost immediately. A bad 40-second start for this power play for the Cougs.
Good sweeping play by Secord, and he is jawing at Jurgensen, saying, I got the better of you, I'm sure. Nothing more than that here from up in the broadcast booth. That's what I'm going to guess, but now he's got the puck.
Secord looking for a second shot, shoots! On the penalty kill, Lexi Cool gets it on his right shoulder and holds it and slows the game down as he looks at his team and says, half of the power play is already gone and they've got more shots than we do.
And a stern kind of letting you know message there from Max Lazaro, protecting his netminder there from Patrick Pearson. And like you said, the Cougars have had good power plays, good chances. They've created a lot during the power play in this game, but this one is going right down the drain right before their eyes.
And Aaron James was the man that set the screen for Andrew Fan, and he got a penalty. And 30 seconds later, after he comes out, 2 minutes, Andrew Fan steals it, and then it comes right back to WSU, and Aaron James goes right back to the bench for another penalty, but Western Washington might be the one to get both of them. Max Lazaro on the offensive end lays a guy out. Doesn't lead to anything, but Max Lazaro is slow to get up. He's got some Western Washington Vikings start jawing at him, a little talk. 30 seconds left in this power play.
And Secord got rocked there. A little reverse hit from Max Lazaro. Unfortunately for him, he tripped over him after he hit him and couldn't quite get to the puck.
Carlson looking to make it deep, go right back in front. Carlson slides into Toki Young. The post doesn't move. There's no dead play just yet. Keeping it going. It's Luke Jurgensen tries to do a wraparound. Can he get it to go? Keeps on, and they get it! No, they're gonna call it off. He said he pushed Toki Young's leg into the net, and they're calling no goal right now, but they're talking about it.
There is conversation here. Jurgensen's initial attempt didn't go, but then a second chance, and his arms raised. The Cougars bench erupted, but now talk from the linesman and the official, and there's some conversation that's to be had here. Of course, the puck ended up in the net from what we know, but this may be counted as something where the Cougars, Jurgensen pushed the pad in, and they won't count it from what it seems with 8 seconds to go on the power play, and that is a crusher. If you are Jurgensen and the Cougs, Jurgensen would have had his 4th goal of the season, but it is wiped.
And we talked about he subbed in for his first power play minutes, would have got a power play goal right there, and the game-leading goal as of right now would have been 2-1 for WSU. Cole Carlson push off the puck, going to clear it one more time. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Hembry, slap shot at the point, gets tipped wide as it hits Declan Quinn's skate. Almost tipped into the open zone of Toki Young's net, though. Carlson still battling, trying to get to a defenseman. Cut off by Van Rayner. He sends it right back in. Good smart play by him. David Bushkin now. Bushkin looking for a man. It's going to be brought out all the way. No, he has enough time. A pass is high and wide as it hits the skate of a Viking defender. Cleared away once again. No, gets it to the man, Lex Ballard. Lex Ballard sends it right back down low to Cole Carlson. Carlson does a deke, makes one guy miss, sends it to center ice, and nobody is there as the pass was in no man's land. Bring it back in. It might be Aaron James going all by himself. Just can't get enough. Push it too far for himself. I know he wanted to get a goal after 2 penalties right there.
Overextending on that one.
No doubt about it. Aaron James gets it right back into the zone. Tries to send it to Andrew Fan, keeping it in. What a pass right there by Secord. Fan's on a pass. Back to Aaron James. He shoots, and Alexi Cool stops it right there for an amazing save.
Just hugging that puck up high with 9:19 to go, and this might be the smoothest of passing I've ever seen from Washington State. They are cycling the puck effectively and working in chances, creating grade A scoring opportunities. It's been really refreshing to see this team. Of course, still tied 1-1. You lead the shots by 7, 23-16. But I'm interested to see what Washington State can do still with just under half the game left.
9 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second period after the Lex Ballard goal at about the 15-minute mark. We've had a tie game. Aaron James gets another shot, and it hits I believe it hit Hank Hamlet right there as it's cleared away. Trying to get puck possession. Hank Hamlet once again. Evan King and him battling. It's going to be called offsides, yes, as Brandon Smith was just a little bit too far trying to get back right there.
Yeah, Brandon Smith, like you said, couldn't quite get back on, and that's kind of one of those offsides where you might do it accidentally on purpose, make it look like an accident so it doesn't come all the way back into your zone, but also do it on purpose because realistically, nowhere to go with the puck there for Hank Hamlet. Evan King and him were just trying to get the puck out of harm's way from the neutral zone, and that was really the only option.
And a talking point for this game has been penalties. Western Washington not playing as disciplined as they should be, and that might lead to WSU leading in the shot category right now as Brandon Smith gets a steal at center ice, tries to make a move, digs a little bit too much. Hank Hamlet, though, is going to get the rebound. No, he gets pushed off the puck, and Ethan Seekers looking for a man. Back out to a man in front of the net. It's going to be WSU. It's going to be Brandon Smith. Looking at the point, Micah Clark slap shot, tips away, hits a couple Viking defenders right there. It's going to swing all the way out to Lucas Robinson, battling against number 23, Harrison Webster. Micah Clark on the clear is the man to retouch up. Western Washington sends it back into the zone. Lucas Robinson and Micah Clark, now the defenseman for WSU. Clear by him leads to Ethan Seekard, sending it right back in. It's going to be number 22 now, Taylor Select. He gets tripped away and gets moved off the puck right there. Now Max Lazaro gets past the man, uses the referee as a backboard right there. Lazaro moving in, shoots, fast for a shot. Young with the save. A good fast reflex by Toki Young. Declan Quinn now moving up ice. trying to find his man. Makes one guy miss. No, he loses the puck on it. Chapman, though, follows it up behind the net of Alexi Cool. Chapman looking for a man. Might see number 2, Jesse Deegan on the cut. The defensive now at center ice. Chapman moves. What a stick right there by, I believe it was David Bushkin, the forward. Put a stick in there last second as Chapman looked to have an open shot, but Bushkin puts a stick in there just in time, and it's high and hits the netting.
He has been an incredible defensive forward as well. You see him on the penalty kill. He's an extremely effective player offensively and defensively. But right there, Cool was kind of shoving Declan Quinn. Looked like he was kind of in the crease a little bit. Maybe a little Henrik Lundqvist, Sean Avery action there. Everything short of the stick going right to the knee.
Another shot leads to Alexi Cool making a pretty easy pad save. Ethan Maurer trying to clear it, and it is cleared all the way down. It's looking to be on net. Toki Young comes out of his neck, almost has a situation where it's Tristan Jarius. David Bushkin shoots, almost hits the back of the net, but Toki Young almost made his first mistake of the night right there. Max Lazaro gets a steal. Lazaro making a couple guys miss, tries to get David Bushkin. He's pushed away, though, that time. And number 12, Ethan Sandberg, is the man, no, number 22, my apologies, Kyler Salette. A pass that is cleared all the way above the head of David Bushkin leads to it getting cleared right back down to Ethan Maurer. And going back to the shots, 7 more shots for WSU. Do you think that's because of penalties, though, Zach?
I think that's definitely because of that. They've created a lot of grade A chances on the power play. It's been effective tonight amongst other nights.
David Bushkin battling against 2 Vikings right now. Keeps puck possession. Gets to Van Rainer almost out in front. That's his favorite spot. Scores a lot of goals from right there. Looking to go one-on-one. No, stolen back again. Lex Ballard, of course, said his name quite a bit. Makes another guy miss. Goes okie doke. Does a spin move even. Looking like a dishwasher right there.
I'll tell you what, this kid's unreal. Lex Ballard, just a great performance tonight. He's doing it all. Offense, creating chances, getting the Cougars on the board, but not only that, he's back-checking, he's playing his position correctly, swiping pucks away. He's been nothing short of amazing for the Cougars tonight.
6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second period. 1-1 hockey game, a very even hockey game at that, Zach. But on the near face-off circle, it's me, Evan King in Viking zone. He wins it. Evan King gets it out to, no, doesn't get it out. Cole Carlson thought about passing to Lex. Luke Jurgensen now. Jurgensen trying to get a man on the left face-off circle in Viking zone. Sends it all the way around the boards to Micah Clark, but he can't get there in time, so the Cougars are going to have to regroup. Clark with a man on his hip. That's me, Aaron James. Bad clear attempt by him. Andrew Fan looking to go center ice. Has opportunity, shoots, and he scores! Andrew Fan gets his 18th goal of the season.
Andrew Fan, the former Tri-City American, he puts that one top shelf. What a shot from the top of the slot there on Alexi Cool. If you're Cool, you got no chance there. That's top blocker. He absolutely picked his spot and wham, right in the top left of the net. And now the Vikings have slowed the Cougars down a little bit, you have to imagine, momentum-wise, but the Cougars cannot fall in to kind of the hole of doubt that they have done before against this very team.
You almost saw the goal playing out as Andrew Fan got to his spot, and he chose his spot on the net. Sam Hembry rips another one. Toki Young snags that up with his glove right there, flashing a little bit of the leather. But going back to the Andrew Fan goal, every goal this game has been pretty deep shots. Not a lot of rebound shots or making a move or one-on-one breaks, two-on-one breaks, whatever it is. They have been amazing shots, and Andrew Franz was right there, top left on Alexi Cool.
And have we seen rebounds and chances there? Yes, absolutely. None of them have been stashed home, though. And like you said, all coming from medium to long range so far.
Oh, well, there's a rebound in front of the net. Almost got a backhand shot right there. Keegan Lucas back in the game. Good to see he's healthy. Shoots it. Tries to get back in. Toki Young almost looked like it was passed to him right there to slow the game down. With 5 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second period, Western Washington hops right back in front, 2-1 a hockey game.
And Max Lazaro just kind of out-muscled there in front of the cage. The loose puck kind of came to his stick, but he just can't get anything on net. And so you have Young, he's just going to cover that one, easy money. 5:54, all that's left here in period 2. And this is kind of shaping up to maybe be a very exciting finish between these two teams.
It has been a very even game so far. Overtime is not out of the question just yet, but WSU does have to get the equalizer for that to even happen. Center it to center ice is going to be number 22, Kyler Salette, who can't get a hold of it. WSU trying to get it right back into the zone, but number 7, Carver Johnson, sticks it down, one of the better defensemen for this team of the Vikings. Carver Johnson passing it, trying to clear it, doesn't clear. Keegan Lucas sends it back in. He takes a shot right there, almost a break for Declan Quinn, but as Declan Quinn hits the floor, that is a heavy hit right there on Declan Quinn, as that was Max Lazaro who hit him, of course, one of the aggressor for these offensive WSU Cougars.
And he's not huge, but at 6 feet 190, you're really not going to get the better of Max Lazaro oftentimes, and right there proves to be true. Declan Quinn rushed down to the ice.
Well, it seems like there's a scrum on the boards, 2v2. Not a lot's happening. We're 20 seconds in. They're still battling on the boards. And now they just switch spots. 3 Cougars versus 2 Vikings on the board still. We might get to the end of the second period like that, but finally gets cleared away. Sam Hembry's the man to touch up. Now for the Cougs. Hembry gliding in, looking like a gazelle, the defenseman. Slap shot! Toki Young with the save, though. David Bushkin. Good play right there by Sam Hembry in a situation like that, especially when you're down 1 goal. David Bushkin kicks it out, tries to get to Lucas Robinson. No, almost too many men called. It gets cleared. No, doesn't get cleared into the benching. Lucas Robinson looking for a man. Now gets it to Ethan Maurer. Maurer all the way up to Nico Umale sends it into Young's chest right there. And that is the 29th shot of the game for WSU, despite being down by 1 goal.
And Umale a little upset with himself there. He's kind of got a chance to maybe make something happen, but he shoots right into the stump of the goaltender, and you're not going to score goals shooting it right at the goaltender. He had kind of a top left, maybe bottom left side to pick from, but of course Young has been a little bit weak on his glove side. You've seen a couple pucks go underneath his glove, whether it's been wide or not, and that's where maybe you want to attack if he's kind of a little bit blind there.
Cole Carlson, a clear attempt trying to get to a man, but Least Danger fan on the other way. The number 23, what a save by Alexi Cool as he was sliding the opposite direction, but still gets a hand on it, and another good save. Alexi Cool with 2 amazing saves to keep it at 2-1 apiece.
Wow, he's unreal. One of the best goaltenders in the Pac-8, without a doubt the most tested netminder, and he is showing why he is a game changer for this Cougars team. Brilliant positioning. Alexi Cool slides but doesn't overcommit, uses that blocker to punch that puck away, and then able to get back in position and snag that great shot out of the air from Secord.
Alexi Cool keeping the Cougars in the game. Just a great couple saves right there for Alexi Cool. Lucas Robinson now on the break, try to get it to his man Luke Jurgens, sends it into the benching. Maybe there was a couple arguments at the intermission break because it looked like number 2, Jesse Deegan, sends it, almost looked like a slap shot going to the Vikings bench right there.
Heads up, no doubt. You know, when you're playing baseball, of course, and you hit one maybe foul or something, you yell heads. There's no time at all to yell heads there. Absolutely not. Just a line drive shot right into the Viking bench. You don't see that very often.
Cougs, Vanner Rayner tied up right there on the faceoff. Lex Ballard gets it almost stolen away from him. Chapman with a good stick on Lex Ballard right there. Luke Jurgensen clears it into Viking zone. He's going to be the first man to forecheck for the Cougs right now. Sends it behind the net of Young once again. Rayner is going to try and get a stick on it. Cleared into center ice. Lex Ballard is the man to touch. He has been cooking this weekend, almost like he's cooking in the crock pot. Right back sent down. Another puck kind of play. Patrick Pearson's going to be the man to touch. Trying to send it to center ice. No one is there, though. Van Rayner trying to clear it. Hits the skate of a Viking offenseman. What a pass right there by Lex Ballard. He sends it up to Luke Jurgensen. Jurgensen rips one on net, gets tipped away, though. Lex Ballard took a shot after that amazing pass. Ballard now at the point now. Ballard tries to send it up in front. Almost a big tipper moment by Van Rayner, but a good last-second toe save by Toki Young. Ballard dribbles it in front of Lexi Cool's neck, saucers it up to Luke Jurgensen, and it wasn't tipped, so there should be an no. Brandon Smith's the man to touch, has a guy in front of the net, don't know if he sees it. He whiffed on the pass, tried to get Evan King, goes past Evan King's stick, now at the point. Micah Clark, or what's the call, too many men? I believe that is going to be the call.
And that is just heartbreaking for the Cougs. You kind of have a created chance there a bit, and you really don't want to give the Vikings any opportunity offensively for momentum. And really, they've kept it clean all period. They've kept it clean for most of the game, but they will go to the box here. And the Vikings haven't had too many offensive chances for power play-wise, but they will get one here in no better time. The last thing you want to do is let up a goal in the final minutes of a period. That is always disheartening. And right now, when you're within 1 to a very good Western team and playing the best you have possibly all season, you just need a really good kill right here, and they did that early in the first period. It was a brilliant kill.
With what could be a devastating power play or penalty with too many men on the ice, which is just a it's a logical mistake you got to make right there. But with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second period, the Vikings are going to have 2 minutes to go on the power play and try to extend their lead from 2-1 to 3-1. Bringing it in is number 33, Ethan Seekert. Seekert trying to go back and forth, tries to go 5-hole on Alexi Cool, but he stays strong and it is cleared away. 30 seconds already have passed in the power play.
Veteran move just to slap that out of harm's way, really not wait around with it much and just get it out immediately there from Sam Hembry.
All the way up to Ethan Seekert again, looking for his second goal. Had the first goal of the game. Slammed against the boards by Van Rainer. Another shot, rips it, Brett Brumba! And the Vikings have scored 40 seconds into the power play. And another good shot, Zach, and that one is by Brett Brumba.
And like I just said, the last thing you want to do, especially in this kind of a game, is let up a goal late. You get the too many men. That's just really a user error all day long. Just bad kind of bench management there from the Cougars. And they're going to give up a really, really important goal with just 2:02 left in this period. And that's a huge momentum killer for anything the Cougars had going to them.
Well, game plan for the Vikings seems to be shoot high, as Alexi Cool has been beat on both of his high shoulders, which are very hard shots to aim for, but all 3 goals have come from one from the left side and 2 on the right side. Vikings pushing him once again, not satisfied with that third goal. Cougars now down by 2 possessions, I guess you could say in football terms, with the Rams now up 17-10 after a Kyron Williams touchdown. Bringing it in, Keegan Lucas tries to rip one towards the net, and it's cleared into the netting with 1:38 seconds left in the second period. Western Washington now up 3-1.
And of course, with the Bears about 1.5 yards out from tying the football game, and they run it here, and they will get a hurdle, but wow, he is crushed. a little bit of commentary there from the Bears game. I apologize, but when you look at the power play here, they've only had a few, but they have cashed in twice there on the power play. A second power play goal coming there from Brett Brumba, and of course, joined by Secord. You just can't give these guys, they're a very high offensive power team. You can't give them any more man advantages.
Chapman looking to rip it, a slower shot. Kind of beat Alexi Cool, but it was off the net. Declan Quinn shoots it. Another wrist shot on number 23, the man Harrison Webster. Alexi Cool stays strong and saves both shots. Evan King trying to clear it out right now. 1:18 left in the first period. Cougs probably just trying to exit the second period, only down 2 goals and not let anything worse happen to them. Third back in. Here comes a 3-on-2 break. No, Brandon Smith's man to get back. Chapman can't get it on his stick. Lucas Robinson pirouettes away from Chapman. Makes another guy miss. The defenseman put on a little okey-doke action right there. Tries to clear it up all the way to Evan King. Evan King can't handle the puck. The seconds are ticking in the second period. What have we seen from WSU in the second period, Zach?
We have seen a great game from them overall, again, until the very final, about 4 minutes or so. And you have a late hit here. Look out. Johnny Lupinacci is irate on the bench as you have a late collision there. And now a little bit of standing around. The referee with the orange stripe is pointing some way. You want to know kind of what's coming out of this, as do we.
I want to say there's no penalty right now. Should have been a penalty. That whistle was clearly for icing. But then, of course, I think it's number 16, Tyler Chapman, laid the shoulder down. There's not going to be a penalty. They're still going to call the icing, but what was that?
Interesting. Yeah, that's, I mean, again, a late collision. Maybe they're going to call it incidental, but it was quite a collision to have right after the period when your man isn't expecting it, and they're still going to call the icing. But, again, the Cougars really could have used that late here in the period.
Oh, here comes maybe a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 break. Aaron James, he's got Andrew Fan, another. Swings it behind the back of Andrew Fan. Just a bad pass, and the Cougs escape with nothing really detrimental happening to them right there.
Enormous play defensively there by Micah Clark, getting the stick in the way of that lane. Look out.
Brett Brumba looking for number 2. Alexi Cool saves it with his glove high, and he saves it with a little one-hand snag, looking like he was catching a baseball right there.
Look like a catcher. I know from experience what that is like. It hurts your knees, that's for sure, and I can only imagine what goaltending does to those as well. But Alexi Cool seems to be alive and well and as good as ever. He has been strong in this game. And, of course, just 5 more shots for Western, and he will have himself a .900 save percentage again through 2. But 27 left, and Western now just knocking at the door again.
27 seconds left in the second period. Western Washington up 3-1 after the Brett Brumba shot. calls out Andrew Fay, and Aaron James, the man to check up on the near faceoff circle. Cleared away. Can Luke Jerkinson get there in time? Yes, he can. Luke Jerkinson pushing. It's be 4-on-2 in favor of Western. Luke Jerkinson does a spin move, tries to get it. Van Rayner. Back to a lot of tips right now happening. Don't know where the puck is going to be. Lex Ballard at blue ice with about 7 seconds left. Clears it into the zone. Luke Jerkinson looking like a fossil right there as he couldn't get back. Is moving slowly that time. And the seconds have tipped down on this second period where Western Washington, WSU struck back with a Lex Ballard amazing goal to tie this game up. And then they answer back with 2 goals of their own, making this a 3-1 hockey game.
No doubt. And, I mean, again, like you said, the Cougars struck back on a Lex Ballard goal. It was brilliance, a spin-a-rama play, an L2 button a little bit, if you will. But, of course, you can't let up for the Cougars, and they did on just a couple of defensive breakdowns. You get 2 power play goals. If you're Western, that's huge. You just have to be better on the penalty kill, and the Cougars have been decently strong at that this year. Their power play is where they've been lacking a little bit on special teams. Their penalty kill hasn't been too bad, but you give up 2 power play goals to, again, one of the better teams in the pack. It's going to cost you, and now it costs you a 2-goal deficit heading into the final period of regulation.
WSU is doing pretty good on the offensive end. They're up 5 shots on goal with 30 compared to Western Washington's 25. Yes, the most important stat is the scoreboard where Western Washington is leading, but WSU's gotten 15 shots each period exactly, where Toki Young got 15 saves. Now we got 14 saves in this one. It should look to be an exciting third period because WSU still is getting all the opportunities in the world, but it just happens to be Western Washington is on their A game with shooting high on Alexi Cool. With that being said, I'm Connor Simmons, joined in the booth by Zach McFarlane with 14 minutes until period 3 puck drop. Looking to be an exciting game of WSU versus Western Washington here on KUGR Hockey.
Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores! What a snipe.
Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got 2 Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangle shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only 1.
We'll try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman, stops the Sharks, puts the on goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman, 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rainer as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rainer doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rainer again, makes a move. Rainer drives it towards the net. Flaudier, top right, bang! My, oh my! Van Rainer has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kinskiller, nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Lazaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rainer. One time and that's Lazaro! Shoots and scores! My, oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, score! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson. Carlson dropping it off Lazaro. A little crisscross. Lazaro shot. He scores! Max Lazaro, top shelf yet again. Martzoff fired it in off the skate there of Robinson, who angles it off the glass and out. And now an opportunity for the man, the myth. Cole Carlson all alone. Score! A shorthanded goal. He is now pointed 3 of 3. Amazing forecheck, but now Matthew Taylor sends it. Carlson lets the howitzer go. He scores! What a snipe.
Beautiful.
What a snipe. Cole Carlson on the power play, and the Cougars have cut the lead in half.
As he's got two Cougs pinning him against the boards. And here comes a feed pass for Cole Carlson with a head of steam. Can he get a shorty? Backhand dangle shot. He scores! A shorthanded goal. Cole Carlson, the team captain, puts the team on his back and cuts the lead to only one.
We'll try our best as here's an opportunity. David Bushkin getting around. Moving on in and a shot. He scores! David Bushkin!
He's got David Bushkin, the freshman. He stops the Sharks. Puts the shot on goal. He scores! David Bushkin, the freshman. 8 goals so far this year. It just continues.
Gets it back. The Eagles under major pressure. Bushkin toward the net. He sails it! Washington State takes a 5-3 lead with 13 seconds to go and a dagger.
And here the Cougs come once again. Van Rainer pushing it up. The tall forward shoots, scores! What a wrist shot right there from Van Rainer as he gets a hattie. My, oh my, what a shot right there. It's a 5-0 hockey game as Van Rainer doing a good job fighting, able to stick it clear and keep the possession for the Cougs. Here comes Van Rainer again, makes a move. Rainer drives it towards the net. Flaudier, top right, bang! My, oh my! Van Rainer has 5. As they're breaking in once again, that's Nico. He might be looking for the hat. He tries to send it out in front of Kinsey, nothing found, but Van by himself, and he scores! What is happening? Azaro looking to get something going. Makes number 20 of the Vandals miss. Sends it out front to Van Rainer. One time and that's Azaro! Shoots it, scores! My oh my!
Out of the hands there of Ryder. Carlson was crushed by Ryder. Lazaro, star! What a snipe! That goes top glove. There was a penalty called on the play. And that one straight away ahead for Carlson.
You are listening to a KUGR sports production.
Another rushing touchdown for what might be the best rushing quarterback in all of college football right now.
Your eyes and ears for every WSU sporting event.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Listen live to games on YouTube at KUGR Sports.
Underneath it, Johnstone makes the grab and wins the game. Washington State wins it 7-5. Logan Johnstone makes the snag.
And now, here are your hosts.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
Cougars down 3-1 in a crazy contest. They have held great with Western Washington so far, but of course you find yourself in a 2-goal hole, out shooting him by 5. Of course, 30-25 of the shots. Alexi Kuhl just 5 shots away from that .900 save percentage again. He's trying to get back up to it now. He's at an .898 on the season. But you just have to wonder what Coach Johnny Lubinacci is saying to the guys in there. This might be the most complete game they've been playing all year, and you still find yourself down to Western again, second in the pack. They have been a good team. They're very talented. And, of course, after we watched the atrocious defensive coverage that was the Rams just now, What do we think of this third period?
Well, I think honestly, a lot of it comes down to the goalie play. Alexi Cool and Toki Young are both playing amazing. Toki Young with 29 saves right now, Alexi Cool with 22. But all of these goals have been amazing shots. You usually see that at the NHL level. They have all been amazing, but something I do want to see is Coach Lubinacci, his response in that intermission break. We'll see what Smith Sly on the interview had to say with him.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Zach. We're down on the ice with head coach John Lubinacci after the second period. Of course, you're down 3-1, heading into the locker room. You're out shooting the Vikings. You got to go from Lex Ballard to get you guys on the score sheet. What's it mean to you to have a guy like Lex Ballard having the hot streak that he's on right now?
Well, I mean, he's an offensive player, and he's on our back end, and that's what we want is our D to be able to join the rush. So he's doing his job. You know, he's putting pucks on net and keeping pucks in, and it's, you know, we need that support. So we're just going to keep it going.
Absolutely, of course. Like I mentioned, you're out shooting the Vikings 30-25 as you head into the locker room. So what's maybe going to be the key to getting past that goaltender?
Yeah, we just keep putting shots on net, keep going hard to the net, keep banging at pucks. I mean, you know, got a goal waved off. That was a weird call. I think the ref lost sight of the puck, but, you know, that was deep in the net. So I'm not sure what that was about. That happens. And just keep doing more what we're doing. Keep out shooting them, keep out working them.
Of course, you mentioned the refereeing there. There have been a couple no calls on a couple of hits that have happened. How has maybe that factored into this game?
Well, you can't let it get in your head. I mean, it's pretty much every whistle there's a slash or, you know, something. So, I mean, they can't call everything. So we're just hoping, you know, keep our heads down, keep grinding.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Connor, Zach, back to you in the booth.
Yep.
Obviously, like you said, Johnny right there talking about a little bit of missed calls. There was definitely some in that period, but nonetheless, the Cougars have actually gotten the better part of the officiating because they've had a lot more power plays than Western. But, of course, on top of that, Western, another kind of factor in that, has been super undisciplined.
They have been. It's not very kind of uncharacteristic of them. You don't see Western, who's a top 2 team in the division, making those kind of mistakes like that, especially when they score a lot of points. You can't score a lot of points when you're down a man. With that in mind, though, WSU still is getting quite a bit of shots, regardless if it's on the power play, 5-on-5. But I think the turning point of this game, the changing point, that maybe momentum, or good for momentum, jump sides back to the Vikings bench, was that Luke Jurgensen goal that got called off. Like Coach Lubinacci said, obviously we don't have an angle, the camera doesn't have an angle. It looked like the ref lost sight of the puck. The call was that Luke Jurgensen pushed his Toki Young's leg kind of into the net, and that's where the puck got to the B, but I think that's where the turning point was.
As here comes Brumbaugh on a shot off the glove there of Cool, and the rebound taken by James. It's pushed wide again by Cool. James one more time, didn't go. Rebound stuff attempt at the doorstep, and it didn't go from Brumbaugh. Wow, but now the other way. Cole Carlson maybe with Jurgensen trailing. Cole Carlson a shot right off the mask. What a shot as Carlson now spins it into the corner, and the Vikings will kind of calm play down here, but what a electric start that was.
We're 40 seconds in. I want to say everything happened within that 20-second frame. Just went 2-on-1 breaks going the both way. Both goaltenders make amazing saves, both amazing shots by both of the teams, whether it's Brett Brumbaugh or Cole Carlson, but what a fast start to this third period.
And Lazaro almost causing a turnover there. But the Vikings will be able to get it not out exactly. Lazaro, again, just kind of floats it toward the net. Webster is there to make a play on it, and now he will shoot it up the half wall. Pitchfork play back for Robinson, though, and a shot that's deflected off the glove there of Umale and wide. Bushkin at the far half wall. Good reverse hit on Declan Quinn. My goodness. Here's Lazaro. Try to get one out front. Bouncing puck comes to the back. Robinson handles it and sends it over for Lazaro. Loose puck comes to the middle, and that is taken away, and Declan Quinn will go 2-on-2. He's got Chapman trying to get by Robinson. A nice little thread pass attempt will go awry, but this puck will be sent all the way down for an icing.
I want to say a lot of the icing calls just happens because the WSU Cougars just get a little nervous in situations they're not feeling comfortable with, and I think that's what Coach Lubinacci wants to work on during practice, is just keeping them in those uncomfortable situations, get comfortable. A lot of these plays is just them clearing away. That could have been a break. You could have had a pass. It was just a missed pass, a little too nervous, and those kind of plays, especially when you're down 3-1. Yes, there's a lot of time left with 18 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period, but you're down 2 goals. Time isn't on your side.
And we've seen the Panic Plague before kind of become a little bit of a pattern with this Cougar team, and they start dumping the puck in and icing it as well, and they do that exactly here, right off a face-off win. And you just can't have that become a habit of just that's what you do when you panic or when things get a little bit tough in your defensive zone. You have to be able to maybe chip it out to the neutral zone, find a way to break it out, just get it away in order to get fresh bodies on the ice because they can't change now. Again,
yeah, they're only down to 14 guys, and something you want to do is just keep getting under their skin. That's what we saw when it was a closer game, whether it was 0-1, 1-1. Those kind of things is the Vikings take a lot of penalties. Is this another icing? Or wow, just unhappy coaches right now on WSU's bench right now. But going back to what I was saying, they're not playing discipline right now. I don't know if it's because of the trash talk by WSU or WSU putting Western Washington in uncomfortable situations. But you got to find ways to just pick it out, make a couple good passes. Only a good shot by Lex Ballard's going to pass Toking, but I promise you get a whole bunch of guys in front of the net. Make a little scrummer from the net. You can get something to go.
And the Cougars struggling to just get it out, but effectively they finally do here. But now the Vikings see Cord maybe going to try and look for something quick, but the Cougars do get a full change finally as Nico Umale trying to take care of Aaron James, who's roaring in. Dropped it for Brumbaugh. Out in front, Aaron James kind of down low, but Lex Ballard coming away with it. And oh my goodness, completely diving at the legs of Ballard. He did sweep the puck, but he also swept the legs right out from under him. And a penalty coming up. It is a trip against the Western Vikings, and it should be against Brumbaugh if I'm correct. And I believe I am. And it'll be a 2-minute minor with 2:26 gone by in the third.
Well, I usually see those plays in NHL, 26 NHL. Like, he dove out. Brett Brumbaugh, I don't know what the idea was or what he was thinking, but that's a situation where he just dove out and easily tripped Lex Ballard. That is one of the most obvious calls you're going to see in a long time here in college hockey.
And the Cougars need to take advantage of this power play more than ever. A goal here to get you back within one early in the period would be huge, and then you can kind of maybe chip away at some chances to try and tie the game up throughout the rest of the 17 minutes. You have Lex Ballard is absolutely shoved down to the ice by Pearson. He wears the C for this Western team, and he showed why there. Huge collision. This one is an onside play. Linesman says it's good. Rayner with Jurgensen, they play a little give-and-go catch. This one off a skate in front and will come all the way down. And Western's coach Adam Seagar calling shots a bit. He'll keep one out and sub 3.
That was a good setup right there. Good little play calls. Led to a good opportunity. Obviously doesn't go in, but that's something I want to see more from the Cougs power play unit.
Vochicki finally comes off after rushing in. Ballard, speaking of rushing in, he is coming right into the zone here. And he'll shield the puck around the cage and go back to Carlson. Carlson's settling it down. A backhand pass kind of blindly there to Ballard. Ballard tripped up on the play by Secord, and this one will cause a disruption and go all the way down the ice.
With about 50 seconds left in this power play, the Cougs look to strike and at least make this a one-goal game. 60 minutes and 20 seconds left in this third period. Western Washington up in front, 3-1.
Hembry now carrying it in offensively. We have seen him play more offense today than we have really normally from him. And defensive defensemen such as maybe Reed Mullen as well, who is on the scratch list tonight. He is on the bench right now in a suit. Look out, this is a high tip play here. Moving on in is Jurgensen in a shot that ricocheted off of something and went above the goaltender. Jurgensen again at the circle, finds Carlson, beautiful pass, he scores! What a shot from Cole Carlson, a power play goal, and the Cougars are within one.
Captain Calgary gets another point on the season, another goal on the season, leads the Cougs in points right there, and he makes the game one goal closer, 3-2 with 15 minutes and 48 seconds left in this third period after a Cole Carlson power play goal and another great high goal right now, Zach. This game has all you need.
Straight long shots here that are going in, and wow, can you believe that pass from Jurgensen to find Cole Carlson in the slot as Brumbaugh out of the box. He is the main reason the Cougars are able to get on the board there as he floated one wide, and now a shot ricocheted off the paddle of Alexi Kuhl into the near half, well played by Fan, trying to keep possession of the puck here in the offensive zone.
Well, something that you're starting to see more is momentum might have changed sidelines once again as here comes David Bushkin.
Bushkin moving in, top of the circle, shooting, and swallowing that one up is Young. And a stoppage of play at just before a quarter of the third period gone by. And it's just in that the Bears have forced a stop on overtime, and they are one score away from heading to the NFC Championship.
Wow. Well, with that in mind, 15 minutes, 11 seconds left. It's a 3-2 hockey game. It's the Cole Carlson goal. But like I said, momentum jump side. It seems like everybody on that WSU bench now got a little pumped up, and everyone is standing up.
Here is Smith. He'll go back to the point, and a shot there from Maurer. That one right off the shin pads of Wojcicki. And this is an errant pass that goes right to Sleddy. He will just kind of bank this one out. Maurer will go cross-ice angle play looking for Hank Hamlet. Couldn't find him. And the bouncing puck on the red line will go off of Aurelio, and he will try and clear it but can't. Brandon Smith now dancing around with the cross. He scores! Beautiful play. Hank Hamlet is the one who ties the game. Wow.
Man, oh man, it seems to be like the fourth line is thriving on momentum, is standing up on the WSU bench right now. What a play, what a pass by Brendan Smith to Hank Hamlet, and Western Washington has called a timeout after WSU ties the game less than 6 minutes into the third period.
What a breakdown this has been, and you can't even blame goaltender Young. A snipe from Carlson at the slot, and then just a cross-crease glitch goal, really, if you will. And this game has turned upside down. This is incredible. The Cougars coming back from down 3-1. The only time we've seen that this season is right before winter break against Eastern. They were down 3-1 heading into the third. And the shades of that right now for sure. As again, 34-28, they still lead the shots. The offense honestly has been pretty even this period, but the Cougars cashing in.
Well, like you just brought up, this game turned upside down, and if you're asking Coach Lupinacci before that break, he's seen stranger things. In a situation just like that, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. No power play goal. It was a 5-on-5 goal right there by Hank Ham. Oh my, oh my. 14 minutes and 40 seconds left in this third period, and we have a tied hockey game, 3-3 apiece. And it looks to be a goalie battle.
No doubt about it. This has been a great game to call. Aaron James moving on in right off the draw. Fit it across. He scores! Can you believe it? Andrew Fan says no way. Timeout effective from Coach Cigar, and it's 4-3 Western just like that.
You have got to be kidding me is what Coach Lupinacci is saying right now. Right after tying the game 3-3, not even 7 seconds later, leads to an Aaron James. I don't know how that became a 2-on-1 off the break. Almost immediately, Aaron James obviously makes the correct decision. Alexi Cole fully commits to him, and leads to Andrew Fan getting his second goal of the game, and basically an empty net goal at that.
And the Vikings really taking the wind out of the sails of the Cougars with an unbelievable response as a half-ice shot proves to be stopped there by Young, and now a breakout play. Secord will just kind of chip this away from himself, and it is Hembry to calm it down.
Well, it looks like momentum is a bandwagon right now because he's just jumping back and forth of who he thinks is going to win this game.
Crushing hit attempt there from Jurgensen, and now a forecheck from Carlson. Jurgensen regains control of that puck, couldn't get it away, and Webster off the stanchion. He is denied of the clear by the boards. Isn't that interesting? Not often you see that. Heck of a defensive play by the glass. Moving now, Jurgensen got it to Carlson. A shot off the glove of Young. Could not be grabbed, but it will finally be wheeled out. And Robinson now bank pass off the boards to himself, and this one slapped ahead to the western side of the neutral zone before it is iced by Hunter Smith. And so the Cougars not showing any sign of giving up, not showing any sign of doubt. Wow.
This period's leaving me speechless, and of course we always say, Zach, we have some crazy games. It's been, there's about 7 minutes, so 16 minutes and 30 seconds to be about exact. There's 13 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third period, and Western Washington hops back right in front, 4-3. But going back, Harrison Webster saying calm, cool, and collected as it hits like the exit door, and that could have ended up very badly.
Absolutely incredible. Out in front, jam play, trying to scramble that one home. It looked like Umle and Bushkin, and now Bushkin goes down to the ice. He's slow to get up, and he's kind of hunched over, going back to the bench. Again, you hope he is okay. That is really the third time we have seen a Cougar go to the bench or hobble in some way, and so he will take a seat immediately and be checked up on there. You just hope that he is all right, as he has been an extremely effective young gun for this team, 15 goals on the year.
It's something you don't want to see. This is the most injuries you've seen in a while for the Cougs. Samu Sahovanen has yet to come out since his injury. Keegan Lucas has been lucky enough to come back. Hopefully we can say the same for David Bushkin. And I feel like he's going to be fighting a lot, especially in the close third period game.
Mazzaro across the blue line, had that one knifed off his stick by Deegan. Umale trying to keep that one alive and can't. Fan windmilled it ahead for himself. And now Umale just through center will try and chip that one off a backhand. Brumbaugh, good pressure from him at the red line. And the Vikings will just have to air this one in. That's Secord as it's paddled aside for Ballard by Cool. Brumbaugh at the half wall, kept it alive, couldn't get it away from Fan. Ballard trying to dance around a couple and can't. Settling it down is Fan at the circle. He is on hat-trick watch. Fan left it off. Brumbaugh across the crease. They score! Secord at the back door. And the Vikings are back up 2 again. What a crushing, back-breaking goal that is.
Man, just when you thought this game was turning around for the Cougs, Western Washington comes back, and it almost looks like they're drawn up plays on these goals, as that's 2 back-to-back amazing passing moments that lead to relatively pretty easy goals for Western Washington.
And you hate to see it if you are with the Cougars here. You have an incredible comeback effort that puts you even with the second team in the pack. And now you're right back where you were in a 2-goal hole yet again with 12:15 to go. And maybe an opportunity is Jurgensen. Finds Carlson right at the goal line. Stick handles through one in front, deflected. That one in behind, and another chance. And laying out and sprawling there was Young. Trying to get that one on the back door was Jurgensen. Absolute chaos at the net. Carlson now floating a backhand. It comes to the back, it's Hembry. And that one goes wide. At the half wall now, Lucas trying to keep it alive. Sleddy with the help of Pearson, able to get it out. He will bank this one to the red line. Van Rayner goes down, and then this one is dumped back in cross ice to Hembry.
I don't know what's happening right now, Zach. The 2 goals that led to Western Washington being up 5-3 could go in WSU's direction right there, but like you said, crushing blow. You're right back where they started at the beginning of this third period. The only thing you lost is about 8 minutes of time.
Carlson, too far for him. Couldn't reach that puck like a T-Rex. There's an opportunity. Jurgensen tried to get it to Carlson, and that one goes wide off a shot from the point there. Lucas gonna be the first man there. Bumped it down low for Carlson. He is pushed and muscled right into the boards. And now taken out by Chapman. Nice move, dances around Lucas. He has a man with him, that's Webster. Chapman walks in and a shot outside to in, and the puck goes wide. 10:53 to go in this third period. Quinn just forcing that one through and finally gets to Chapman, and a chipped puck out in front. Quinn the first man there to make sure Cool's got it, and the whistle goes with 10:45 remaining.
Well, it was a 2-on-1 where Chapman made an amazing move, and I think he heard the oohs and ahs from his bench in the crowd, and that led to him thinking he has to take it all the way and try to get his own ESPN top 10 play. And it leads to just a weak shot as Lucas Robinson's able to tip the shot, and nothing really even hit Alexi Cool right there. 40
shots on goal for the Cougars, and Toki Young stopping 37 in his ACHA debut. He has been incredible, but he is beatable from what he has shown. Oh my goodness, Max Lazaro absolutely crunches Aaron James, a high hit. And now a shot from Bushkin, who is back on the ice. Good to see him. Of course, he went off a little bit ago, a little shaken up. But if you ask me, Max Lazaro no doubt got away with one there.
He went high right there. That should have been a penalty. Aaron James got hit like in his mouth, as I guess you could say, right on the chin. And he's right back there, got up like nothing ever happened.
New definition of getting punched in the mouth. Beautiful move by, oh my goodness, Fan. And then that one ricochets in. Western extends their lead to 3 for the first time tonight. And it is Aaron James out of the box on the board. And Western now just running away with it.
Well, it's like every coach or dad says, when you get knocked down, get right back up, and that's what Aaron James did out there. Is he took a shot by Max Lazaro, like we said, got away with one, and that might be a situation where maybe you take the penalty in that situation for Max Lazaro, but they come right back down. Andrew Fan undresses the defender right there, makes him fall. You only usually see ankle breakers in basketball, and it leads to a rebound shot from Andrew Fan and Aaron James tips it right home. It is a 6-3 hockey game. There has been 6 goals here in the first 10 minutes of the third period. It's just an opposite of what the first 2 periods were.
Absolutely incredible period to start if you are a big fan of offense. As this one will go down into the corner, Brandon Smith leaves it off for Hamlet. Could not corral it. It kind of careens to the far half wall, and racing after that is Pearson with Ballard, but Smith is going to be the third man up, and he will win it. Now shielding the puck, he takes a heavy hit there from Pearson. And this one absolutely rocketed off the glass. Clark tangling up there with Sleddy. And this will go across ice for Hamlet, trying to get away from Vocicki.
We are officially in the later part of the third period, where the first 10 minutes, was nothing but entertaining and nothing but, I guess you could say, expected by Western Washington, as they just have dominated ever since WSU tied the game up at 3-3. And now you're looking at the WSU bench, and they're all sitting back down again as momentum has left them. And you're just wondering, can you have another good 10 minutes for WSU?
The oxygen kind of left the bench of Wazoo, but we will get a whistle here, and it's a high stick as the puck was played with a high stick. And so you have a stoppage of play, and the whistle marking the faceoff that will be inside Cougar territory.
It has been overall just, you hate to say that it's a bad game, because it's 6-3, so it's obviously not a good game for WSU. But this has been one of the better games, at least offensively, in a long, long time. Especially it's against a very good Western Washington team who scores a lot of goals.
That they do, and they were held off pretty well by Kuhl, but of course, defensive breakdowns in this period and some snipes by him has been the big difference. Here's Chapman, top of the slot. That one kind of careened off a stick in front and went right above the crossbar. And then this one laid way ahead for Carlson, who was kind of caught cherry-picking there. Young is going to come out and get rid of it from his cage. And now Jurgensen to play it first. Trying to chase down Quinn, and a stick lift play by him from behind. Carlson left that off for Rayner, but too far out in front, and it's picked off. The other way is Secord. He is on hat-trick watch as well. Top of the slot shooting, and that one blocked down by a skate. That was Hembry in front, I do believe, and he is hit hard into the boards. That'll be a penalty coming up against Secord. And Aaron James touching the puck, making it official. And now we have some extracurricular here as Jurgensen going down into the corner. You have a glove flying here. This is getting ugly in the corner.
Yeah, this game has been getting very aggressive. You knew something would break at one point.
And not sure how many penalties are going to come from this. The initial call came when Sam Hembry was crunched into the board by Secord. So we know he is going for sure. What he is going for and how long, we don't know yet.
I want to say, because there's 2 guys in the penalty box, obviously we know the first one, Sam Hembry. Luke Jurgensen has been kicked out of this game. And I guess they're not kicking out Chapman, which is very unusual, because it seemed like it was both mutual fighting right there.
And if you're not kicking out anyone on Western, but you are from WSU, and Jurgensen especially, you just have to wonder why. I mean, you almost want some kind of explanation, because Jurgensen was just kind of, he was hit a little late. It was a little bit of a scrum in the corner, but he's the one that ended down on the ice in essentially what was a 2v1 down there.
And I think they are. Chapman's getting all this stuff. I think he is going to get kicked out of this game. And what I assume is going to happen is, with them getting kicked out, there's a lot of trash talk. Chapman's not agreeing with the call. I don't know what he's arguing, honestly. And he got 5 minutes also. So I wonder if it's going to be, no, number 33, Ethan Seacrest's getting 5 minutes. So that could be the turning point. That could be the turning point for WSU. I know they're down 3 goals. I know you don't have a lot of time with 8 minutes left, but you can score as many goals as possible in this power play. This is where you have to capitalize. We have talked about special teams all year long. This is the game to do it and come out and perform in. It's going to be 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. You got to get at least, with the time left, you got to get at least 2 goals here, Zach.
Sharks Vegas 2019. It was 3-0, and a 5-minute major sparked one of the craziest comebacks in playoff history. The Sharks going up 4-3, Vegas tying it 4-4 before regulation time ran out, and then an overtime winner from Barclay Goodrow, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. We're seeing a 5-minute major sparking something here for the Cougars, possibly, as the Rams have just won the divisional contest and will play the Seahawks in the NFC Championship. But, of course, Secord's going to get 5 minutes for what we can probably infer as boarding.
I would assume Sam Hembry was on the ground for a while. We've seen a lot of injured Cougs. Luckily, we've seen David Bushkin and Keegan Lucas come back in this game. Sam Hembry was able to skate off on his own accord.
And the bureaucracy that is the officials will
always
sort this out a little bit here.
It's always a weird game, man.
And we will essentially have a Cougar power play. It will be a 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. They will get a major power play. And so the Cougars, it wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea in the world to think about pulling your goalie here in the next couple if you're down 3.
My best guess is if they score a goal and it gets to the 4-minute mark and it's a 6-4 game, that's when you pull Alexi Cole.
Beautiful forechecking here. Andrew Fan diving down to try and keep that one from coming back in. Lex Ballard is stymied there upon entry, and the Vikings are going to get a quick change here. At least Andrew Fan will. The other 3 will stay on, and Pearson, fresh off the bench, will pursue Lazaro. Racing in, just kind of backhand, floating one toward the net. Nothing there, and Carlson will try and get it back to the point, and he will to Robinson eventually. Over to Ballard, and a shot through traffic that's blocked out in front. Carlson, that one popped up into the air. Bouncing puck being swung out there. And Western's bench is irate that there was no call. I'm not sure exactly what they were hoping for. Lex Ballard wrestling, and it is Brumbaugh moving in. He is all alone. Stone, he shot it wide. He was going for the Forsberg. The one-handed tuck, he tried it, and he pushed it far post and wide. Wow, that would have been a highlight reel goal.
That would have been insane. We almost had too many men on the ice right there. Ref didn't call it. Maybe it's a ref don't see it, ref don't call it. But a minute and 20 seconds has gone. Brett Brumbaugh almost had his second goal of the game, and that would have been a doozy. You only see that, like I said, in video games.
No doubt about it. Or again from Peter Forsberg. We have seen that from him as well. And oh my goodness, just a knee-to-knee contact play there. And Lazaro actually coming up standing after that one. Sleddy was the one who went down to the ice. Hembry down from a bad angle. Down low goes to Carlson. Slot kicked it to him. Stick. Rebound there. Puck is still loose. There's a battle in front of the cage. And again, Lex Ballard will go for a hit up high. And Ballard is going to take maybe not a smart penalty there. And now it's 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. And you just cost your team 2 minutes of the 5-minute major. And now we have some taunting going on between Ballard and the Western bench.
Just a weird situation going on right now. That is something you don't want to see, especially if you're Lex Ballard, as that is just uncalled for. But we've seen it all game. Toki Young just staying strong. He doesn't get pushed around that often. A lot of goaltenders maybe will flop or they get shoved in. He is a very strong goaltender, as you can see. In his debut, he's staying strong a lot of times in front of the net. You just keep on hitting, maybe try and get a rebound goal, get it over, push him in, maybe like they said for the Luke Jurgensen goal, but he is staying strong right now as Lex Ballard goes off for about 2 minutes. So if there is no goal, or no matter what, if there's no goal by Western Washington here, there'll be 1:14 left on the power play for the Cougs, but they need to get a goal pretty soon.
You're right with Young. He has been as sturdy as a curtain rod in there tonight. He has been very strong and has kept his cool, if you will. 6-3. Again, Western is still up by that 3 with 6 minutes to go. Carlson, nice toe drag move, dances around. My goodness, a windmill, but just can't beat the defenseman. And now maybe a 2-on-1, but a great back check from Bushkin, and he steals it away from Andrew Fan, who crushes him into the board. Bushkin went down heavily, and now you have Andrew Fan with the puck here. And now a reverse hit, a pretty deliberate shot there from Andrew Fan. He was waiting for David Bushkin. Wow.
It was a pretty high hit, too. I'm surprised the ref didn't at least go up and talk to him while he was skating off. Maybe minimum, but at this point, Western's wasting time, making some subs. That time is on their side, especially when you're up 3 goals. I didn't read the rule book correctly, maybe, but isn't there a delay of game?
There is in some way, but right there, I think you get quite a bit of grace with the delay of game and where you can hold the puck, and right there, you kind of rag it a little bit, take some time off the clock. 5 minutes to go, and now you've got a 2-on-2, I beg your pardon, with Hunter Smith. Dances around Keegan Lucas, and a penalty coming up against Washington State. And Alexi Kuhl from his net just looks a little bit furious, a little upset as these are just such avoidable penalties from the Cougars, and they're just throwing their opportunity away at any chance of coming back.
Well, it starts with Lex Ballard, who's been having an amazing weekend, and we've said his name multiple times for good scenarios. But he let the pressure get to the best of him right there, let his emotion get to the best of him, I should say, as that was an uncalled for penalty. And then right here, maybe it's a situation where, again, we talked about it, feeling uncomfortable, had to hook him. We're going to have 4-on-3. We've had 5-on-3, 5-on-4, both sides either way. Now we have 4-on-3. Never a weird game when we're on the call, Zach.
Never a dull moment when you and I are with these headsets on. As Van Rayner trying to block the shooting lane from Aaron James, and it'll now be Andrew Fan 17-on-17 action here at the top of the right circle. Floats it over to James, sends it down low there. Loose puck scattered around and covered by Alexi Cool. And even if you are Coach Johnny Lupinacci, and looks like, I spoke too soon. There is more that's going to be happening. The referees are signaling, and the Vikings are the ones with their hands in the air. Palms are up.
Did he just send someone out of the game?
Aaron James is going to be ejected. I'm not sure. I guess I missed it. I looked away at the wrong time, apparently, and Aaron James will be sent off. I'm not sure if there's any penalties coming from the Cougs. It looks like Sam Hembry is going to join him in the showers, and Luke Jurgensen's going to open the door, who got sent off just about maybe a little over 7-8 minutes left, or earlier, I beg your pardon. And what is going on here?
I think we're about to get 3-on-3 hockey, and it's not overtime. None of us KUGR students have been on call for a overtime game, but this might be the closest thing we're going to get.
They've only had one overtime game this season, and in which they won.
And we weren't there, of course.
And that was the Pac-8. That was just the showcase in early part of the season when they played the Broncos and a couple of other teams, and they went into overtime in that scenario, but we still have a 4-on-3 and a penalties coming up.
I truly don't know what always happens in these games. Refs are starting to clock down. At least we know they have control, unlike that UW game we called a couple months back. But with that, now we have 3-on-3. I talked about having 3-on-3, of course. It's going to come now. Honestly, if there's another penalty, I don't think you can have less than 2 players on the ice. So at that point, if there's another penalty happening, you either send the man off, or it's just going to be a situation where they add a man for WSU or Western. A weird situation you don't see quite a whole lot in hockey.
I like to say I know the rules of this game pretty well, but whenever they decide to go coincidentals and maybe don't take a man off or don't make it 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, sometimes the decisions I don't understand. Now, I'm not fluent in that part of the rule book specifically. But nonetheless, finally a 3-on-3, and giving ice space to Andrew Fan, who is sliding on in. The net comes off its moorings. He went skate first into the left post, and only 5 ticks left on the Ballard initial penalty. And out of all this, Ballard's penalty seems like it was 18 years ago.
I know. It feels like it did happen a while ago. There's 14 minutes and 16 seconds left in this third period. Western Washington up in front 6-3 on the Cougars. But something we're seeing a lot more, I personally never seen, at least watching the Cougars playing since I've been here at college, is there's so much open ice. And I wonder, obviously you're down by 3. There's obviously not a lot of time, but you got to still keep trying. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Lupinacci, when Lex Ballard gets out, he's going to start sending some of his fastest guys because there's so much ice space.
And you will have essentially a minute 14 of 4-on-3 time. Of course, barring that there's no penalty called.
Yes.
But of course, there could be. And Ballard gets crunched into the boards by Fan, leaving that one behind Ballard in the top of the slot. Beautiful diving Superman play by Fan, knocking it away. His bench erupts as there is most definitely 4 players on the ice, without a doubt there. And they don't get called, as it's truly interesting. Hunter Smith now cross-checking Ballard. And this game is absolutely chippy, to say the least. 37 to go on the Western Secord Major that started this whole thing.
There was 2 very obvious missed calls by the refs right there as soon as I gave him a compliment.
Here's a tip play. Carlson maybe trying to bank that one home, and that one is cleared eventually off the boards and down. It'll be a 5-on-3 for about 4 ticks. But of course, that's not going to help Wazoo unless somehow they can establish his zone a little bit here, and maybe Carlson will, trying to float one over. He nudges one across for Bushkin. 3 seconds to go, and this one floated out front. Bushkin, Keegan Lucas coming out. And now Secord gonna join him, and this one's played by a high stick. And it will go all the way around the end board. Keegan Lucas slams that one into the board out of frustration. And you know what? Even if you are Coach Lupinacci with 2:54 to go, you're down 3 in this situation. You can break out the whiteboard all you want. Nothing is going to happen here, I don't think.
Barring a miracle, but hey, Zach, do you believe in miracles? Because I do. But keeping that in mind, just this whole game about the first 10 minutes was all offense, all goals. And then it became the last 10 minutes starting to crack down on maybe not good defense, but hey, I'm just not going to let them score anymore kind of situation where you're going to take the penalties. These teams, they don't like each other. They're division foes. Of course you don't like each other, but it's going to be like a Seahawks versus Rams NFC Championship. You do not like each other. And obviously there's a lot of fights. We've had 4 players get kicked out of the game, and all the penalties are officially crossed. We are back to 5-on-5 hockey with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third period. WSU did not score on the 5-minute major or the 4-on-3 or the 3-on-3. Nobody scored on any of those power plays.
You can put up a board of combinations of what the power play looked like there, and in the last 10 minutes, it was about every which way possible. 3-on-3, 4-on-3, one way, 4-on-3 the other, 5-on-4 both ways. It was incredible. As like you mentioned, 4 guys kicked out, and Hembry and Jurgensen for the Cougars, and then Chapman and Aaron James for the Vikings as a stop here from Cool.
Well, it just seemed to be, obviously we brought him up so many times, momentum, and this game's been super bipolar. You did not know which way it was going to go. It was honestly pulling a little Hannah Montana action where it was going back and forth, but you can't live the best of both worlds, and the best world right now is Western Washington, who's up 3 late in the third period.
And Toki Young has come into this game with a debut, and he has stopped 41 so far of 44. He has absolutely been spackle between the pipes. He's been incredible. And so now with 1:42 to go, 6-3 Western. They're just trying to kind of close it out, and this will be aired down, and not enough for an icing. So Western will chase after it. Robinson will try one last maybe breakout attempt here for the Cougars with still 1:30 to go.
And a question I have to ask you, Zach, is do you think Simulisa Hoven getting injured early on in this game had something to do with it?
I think that's part of it. I think Simulisa Hovanen's injury kind of shook up the power play a little bit, and not even that he was necessarily super productive on the power play, but sometimes just breaking apart a line in chemistry and adding something new into that power play that we've seen all season can kind of disrupt a little bit of what they had already had going in a power play that was super effective in creating chances this game.
Obviously, you're missing an offensive weapon in a high-scoring game. This has been the best look the Cougs have had in a long time, as they have 44 shots. And with about a minute left, Max Lazaro tries to dangle, and here comes another penalty.
Well, what do you know? There is a arm of the official that is up. We've seen that a lot. I'm sure their arms are getting tired at this point. Maybe a torn rotator cuff incoming for one of these officials. And with 46.9 left in this game, the Cougars will get one final power play, or at least one could hope it's the final power play. As so many penalties have been called, and in the next 45 seconds, if you told me you were going to get 5 penalties, wouldn't doubt it one bit.
Oh, the refs are getting their money's worth. I honestly wouldn't be surprised they're going to start clearing. No, he kept it onside, so kind of a late. I don't know if that was a good call by the refs right there.
Carlson just winds up, and a howitzer right up off a stick and into the mesh. He had maybe a lane to come in. He walked in, and he shot it, and a good twig in the way. And this has just been a tough one for the Cougars, and a comeback effort that is just completely denied.
Well, something you don't want to see happen right now is the Cougs are obviously going to push for a goal, so they're going to be a little bit aggressive, and Western's just not going to let that slide. There's going to be some pushing and shoving, a little bad blood between the two. Something you don't want to see is a fight last second.
And Lucas Clark, the first time we have seen him on the ice tonight, with a shot on net, attempted at least, goes wide. And now Lucas with a fired shot that's toward the net. It will roll all the way on edge and out with 13 seconds to go. And now to the final 10. You've got Keegan Lucas across the blue line, walks in and rips one. And that is going to be all she wrote here in Cheney, Washington. Western's going to come away with it, and they will take it 6-3 over Washington State. And yet another disappointing, heartbreaking loss from Wazoo to this Western team.
Well, they made it a game. It was a very even game, despite it being 6-3. WSU outshot Western Washington by 8 shots, as it was 45 shots compared to 37. Alexi Cool and Toki Young were the players of this game for either team, as Toki Young got 39 saves, and on the other end, Alexi Cool got 31. So there was a lot of shots in this game, but WSU was there. It was 3-1, and they came out within the first 5 minutes and tied the game after amazing plays. And then after, I want to say, Western Washington got their 4th goal, it was like they were all standing up, momentum's there, and then you sit right back down. And that's been the story of the season. Not a great 2026 start for WSU, as they are averaging almost 7 goals against in this time period, and they're 1-3 in the new year.
1-3 is right. Of course, we saw Utah Valley. That game is their only win in a 6-4 contest in a tough Utah Valley team. And they go on to the Grizz, of course, in Montana. And that was a rough one, to say the least. 8-1 in the outdoor game. Of course, great environment. Smith and you were on the call for that one. And we came back here, back west to Cheney, back into the state of Washington. And the Vikings, who have come off a tough weekend themselves, 0-2 until they played this game. And Toki Young is going to get his first career win, of course, in the ACHA. But I'll tell you what, if you have the job of recording the penalty sheet to the website, you might be here till late. You might be here till it's dark out. You might need a flashlight in order to actually see the paper.
That was good, Zach. Honestly, you're probably going to be working overtime, something this game didn't get, which I thought it was going to head towards that direction when it became 3-3, because at that point in the game, both teams were averaging like 1 goal a period, and it became a situation, oh, let's just score 5 in a matter of 10 minutes. Just an overall very exciting game, but something you can take away from this game, outside of maybe 5 minutes here and there, obviously undisciplined, don't take penalties, don't let the emotions get to you, is that this is the 2nd best team in the division. WSU is the 4th best team as of rankings right now. WSU is not that far behind Western. I know 6-3 looks that bad. They are not that far behind, though.
You almost wonder if it's the same as UW, where it's a little bit of a mental thing and trying to get over this hump. Of course, you beat Western in years past, but they haven't been to the skill level that they are nearly this year. Of course, with great additions of Andrew Fan, the WHL are always nice to have a guy who's played essentially semi-pro, top of the line prospect play, and you get him on your team as an addition, and of course a sophomore at that, so you have him for more years. This Western team could be some sort of a dynasty here in the ACHA coming up, but of course UW kind of took them around town a little bit in their series, so you've got quite a few matchups again with Cal as well. But now Washington State has 2 more games this season before the playoffs, and you are going to San Diego, to a team that has struggled, to say the least. And a little bit of a surprise for you at home, we will be there in San Diego. We will be going and covering those games, and it should be interesting. Do you think that they finish off at least with a 2-game sweep?
Well, this is where you have to. These are borderline, in my opinion. It's kind of Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens kind of situation, Week 18, where regardless if it's a regular season game, these, in my opinion, are must-wins. You're probably going to stay at the 4 seed, at minimum the 5 seed. Either way, you're playing the same team, but just getting momentum towards the playoffs. You've got to pull, one of those teams, whether it's the Houston Texans winning 11 games, getting to that playoff spot. Just start getting momentum. You got to do something, but the turning point is you have to give the props to Western Washington. They have had an outstanding game. It has been obviously going to the man that made his debut, a freshman, Toki Young. The biggest question mark we've probably seen all year. Of course, that would happen in a game where he stood strong. You don't see that a lot from a goaltender that's 3rd on the depth chart. They have 2 very good goalies right in front of him, and if everything goes wrong, you still got Toki Young. Then obviously Andrew Fan, he got 2 goals on the game. He's the man, the myth, the legend. It has been, even we're missing a James brother. A lot was going Western's way. Honestly, and the turning point of this game wasn't the Luke Jurgensen thing, like I said. I thought that was going to be the turning point. We ended up tying this game, WSU 33. I think the turning point was that timeout, or Western Washington's coach calls a play out, and he shook everything up like a snow globe. And it just came to be that after that 4th goal, I want to say 4 seconds after we tied the game, everything just went downhill, and you've seen stranger things, like Coach Lupinacci might say.
And again, a strong effort from Western. They had a little bit of pushback from the Cougars, but of course they handled it. They gave an answer, and an answer in 7 seconds from number 17. who really put this game on ice right away, even though that was 4-3 at the time. He really just started that rush of goals for Western. And then, of course, penalty minutes, the story of tonight. But nonetheless, that will do it. The game has wrapped up, a 6-3 final, and Western will take it here on Cheney Ice. And again, next weekend, Washington State will go play down in San Diego, where we will, again, we'll be on the call.
Exciting.
That's going to be a great trip, and we will be with you. And thank you for joining us here tonight. Please, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe to KUGR on YouTube. It has been fun, and I have enjoyed being with Connor Simmons here on the call, with our beloved Kate Cherney behind the camera, and we will see you all in San Diego. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Good night, everybody from Cheney.